Welcome to the stream. We're going to do another live unboxing today. I'm joined with Rusty and Josh. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to do a live unboxing of 4 of these figures today. Before we do the variance comparison, what we'll look at is the sculpt detail. We'll also look at the paint and textures, all that good stuff. And then we'll do articulation. We'll look at the accessories, and then we'll do the actual variance comparison when we look at 4 of those figures together. And from there, we'll get a better idea of what you can kind of expect when you guys get these guys in hand. And so this is currently out in Japan. It's expected to be kind of towards the end of this month before it comes out. At the end of this month, we also have in Japan 3 figures being released. We have the Shin forms, we have Godzilla 1975, and then we also have the delayed Godzilla 2014 figure as well. So we've got a lot to unravel at the beginning of September. There's going to be a lot to get through there. So, but without further ado, let's break this guy open. Let's take a good look at it. I'm going to get behind the camera right over here. And here we are. So here's the box. Let's take a close look. It is a windowed box. It's brand new, unique design.
I actually really like this box. I think it's actually really neat.
One.
Yeah, the style, the concrete, the debris. I think it really looks nice.
Even the window has its own unique styling on the top.
Yeah.
And then the bottom.
Oh, it's even on the top?
Yes, and the bottom is also kind of the same, what we've seen usually, but the top of it is definitely its unique style right there. So it's very mechanical in nature, feels like the Ride Godzilla. I love the texture, the design of this. If I were a person that displayed boxes often, I would not have a problem displaying this in a primary location right there, because this is a really cool box. On the back of it, there's no English translation. It's all in Japanese, so you'll need a translator app to see it, but there is a comment from Yuji Sakai on development of this figure right here. So eventually I'll probably translate it somewhere so you guys can read it, but let's open this up. Noticeably, there is no manual attached to this, so that means, so they have their manual printed on the bottom right here.
Oh, okay.
So no physical manual to hold. It's on the bottom of this right here of the box. So if you're like me and you open it from the bottom, you'll see the manual first. Otherwise, you'll miss it. If you open it from the top, you'll never even know that it existed. But the manual just simply states, how to put the goose on a stand, and common sense goes a long way, right?
Right.
So, but here it is in the blister. Check it out. Pretty straightforward blister. You got Godzilla, you got the goose ships right there, and then you've got the stand, and the flight stand attachment is a nice little circular pedestal. Since the ships don't weigh a lot, they don't need a giant square base. So that's nice to keep in mind for folks that are limited in space. Let's get this guy open. All right, so we've got, let's get Godzilla out first. Let's do that first. So Godzilla's wrapped twice. The tail is wrapped by itself, and then there's the additional wrapping on the back of the figure to support it. One thing I want to note is that the clamshell, the blister right here, guys, from -1, they kind of upgraded it so that it would protect the spines. The spines are different on this figure. They're bigger and thicker, so they do not have that same kind of protective shielding, a bubbling in the clamshell, so they don't have that here. But honestly, I'm looking at this and I don't see how it would be a problem. They do give enough breathing room for the actual dorsals right there. And here it is. We've got it out. Check it out. Look at that guy. Hold on just a second. Let me make sure my autofocus is turned on here. Yes, it is. Okay. All right. So yeah, there it is, guys. They always have these things. They have these things packaged so derpy sometimes, right? They got the arms in weird positions and everything. They don't actually have them in like terrific poses or anything. But again, it's for the safety of the figure, so it makes sense. Feels really good. It's really heavy. It's got some heft to it too. So I don't remember -1 feeling that heavy actually. So there's that. Let me get this back in here. There's a little protector, by the way, that holds the figure in place. So that's in there as well. As far as the Goose go, let me move this out of the way. So we've got, here's the stand piece right here. It's a circular little piece right here. And then...
Got that with my stand pose.
Yeah. And then we've got our stand that goes on top of that. You just plug that in like so, right? So now you've got this piece right here. And then as far as the Goose go, now the actual ships, they're very, very small, but the plugs are rather large. So these are 3mm plugs for the ships. So I'm going to just plug it in just like so. They're not very small, at least on this large ship right here. So here's this. I don't know if that's going to really be in focus, but we'll focus on it later. So this is the ship in its hover form. It's an unpainted, I don't like to use the word unpainted because it's just monochrome. It's painted as if it was the ship color, but as far as any other details that you would hope for it, those are not going to be present. One thing I'm pretty sure the manual probably touches on is, yeah, so there's a delicate notice right here when you're pulling these guys off, especially the one that's got the hovercraft parts on it. Don't pull it off of its stand or put it on its stand by holding these hover parts. They will break off if you do that. It's plastic, but given enough force, they are thin enough to probably snap off. So when you're doing it, always hold it from the front and the back side of that. And look how small it is too. That's in my hand. It's quite small. And then we have our other ship. There is only one stand piece in here, so you can't display both at the same time. However, if you collect many MonsterArts figures, you do know that you are able to get this and use other stands if you want. It is the 3mm stand, so you can use any Tamashii axe stand to display this piece right here. So
I was just surprised they didn't use the bendy wire that, like with the event exclusive Gong and the heaves.
Yeah, that bendy wire. The bendy wire is definitely thinner, significantly thinner than this right here. It wouldn't have been a bad idea to do that, in my opinion. I'm with you on that right there. I would have preferred that they use bendy wire over these giant stands. So, but that is...
those guys and the heaves are the same size.
What's that?
I think those Goose minis right there and the heaves are like about the same size.
Yeah, they're pretty much about the same size. Yeah. So, but for some reason they went with doing it this way. And who knows why? Right at the end of the day. So let's. I
have a suspicion the wire might actually be more expensive in a weird way. I don't know why, but.
Well, when they do their wire, they do encase it. So there's that as well.
Yeah. I think that might be wise. They try to put that nice little sleeve, and
so,
I think
let me bring up our brightness here because why not, right? So let's go to 12, back to 1250. There, that'll make it so that you guys can see the figure better. Problem is that the box is so bright and the figure is so dark, so we had to kind of adjust our settings to accommodate that. So, but now that we're not going to be focusing so much on the box right now, we're going to go ahead and get all 4 of these guys out. While I'm getting these guys out, our wonderful co-hosts here are going to read out questions out loud, and I will answer them as I'm going through these. So let's start with some recent questions, and then a couple of questions that maybe we missed at the beginning of this regarding the figure. That's the other thing, guys. Really quick. Let's keep our questions related to this figure. Any questions related to other figures or any other things, you know, we'll answer those maybe at the end of the stream. But for now, let's just keep our questions regarding this particular figure at the moment.
Oh, this is Shinrob in chat.
Shinrob, shouldn't he be watching wrestling right now?
Unless the fight's already over and he's back here.
That's true. It's probably over at this point.
Might have been a lame fight.
May have been a lame fight. Hey, thanks, Shinrobjira, for stopping by. What did he say?
He says he super agrees in regards to the box display. That's an awesome one.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it is.
Seems like a lot of people like the box display, which is...
Oh, yeah. Box is really great in display right there.
Also, really the colors on it.
Yeah,
I kind of like the concrete. Yeah, I think it actually works.
It definitely works quite well, yeah, with that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you turn the box in just the right way, you can treat it like a building.
Oh, yeah, you could.
Let's see. We don't have any questions so far, but we have a couple people mentioning a few things. 2 people had a comment about the manual, and one of them's Creature War Studio says Bandai probably doesn't want to spend extra money on a piece of paper. Lol.
I mean, you're not wrong.
No.
That's why it's printed on the box. Although you have to wonder if it costs more money to print it on the box. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe everything costs the same.
Well, they have to print on the box anyway.
Yes. I'm actually quite digging the new head on this guy right here. I feel like there is actually more detail throughout it. There's some areas that, that I definitely recognize that are a little bit dialed back in this one. It is a new mold, though. For anybody that's wondering, it is a new mold. It's not the same mold that was used before for -1, so it is brand new. So there's some subtle differences, like on the side of the eyes, it's a little softer in detail, but then all the other areas seem to be a lot sharper in detail. And the teeth look especially really good out of the box. So we'll have to see what they all look like when I get them all out. But so far, so good. I am liking what I'm seeing so far.
From a little bit I've seen, I've noticed a little bit of dry brushing along the tail compared to the -1.
Yes,
So
yes,
far.
and that was a big critique when -1 was released, is that the tail, the dry brushing on alongside the tail was not there. Even on the reissue, it wasn't really all that present. They did fix it on the -color, and they did fix it on the Heat Ray version, but for some reason with the reissue, they didn't bother to adapt that. So it's kind of interesting how that worked out.
Yeah, that was the one thing that I worked out on my custom -1 that I'm like, it just needs a little more dry brush. Just a little more.
Yep, a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah, that's
right.
It does.
All right.
So speaking of, one person is asking, first impression, is the red on the dorsals easy to notice in person?
I haven't given it a good look just yet. Still getting these guys out, but we'll definitely discuss that once when we do our zoom in. So what we're going to be doing, guys, is we'll be taking a... so after I get all 4 of these guys out, we're going to take a good look at them, kind of like a little bit of a flyby sort of thing, and we'll look at them from the front, the side, and the back. And from there, we can make some pretty quick and easy observations. So... we're almost done getting them out. You know what I like about doing Godzilla figures, guys, is that they're so much simpler to do.
Oh yeah.
There's less effects parts to go through, and it's just smooth
No
sailing.
legions?
Oh my gosh, that legion
No
stream.
evolution sets.
Okay. So here are all 4 of them right here. We've got all 4 on the table. They all felt really good. Taking out of the box, there was no loose parts or anything like that. Everything had a decent feel to it. None of the joints were falling off, like I said. So let me get behind the camera right now, and we'll take a closer look. So
No
jump back
broken
here.
spines?
Yeah, surprisingly, no breakages here transiting to the U.S. So
Yeah.
then again, these were flown here versus being ferried over. So there's that too. Okay,
See,
so
I don't know if that's softer or not. I don't know.
I don't know, Davey. All right, so let's well, first of all, before I get too much further into this, let me repose these guys a little bit because they're kind of googly moogly right now.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Anyone else asked about the possibility of getting other ride designs in MonsterArts, or am I the first? There's been a couple people that have asked about it. We also touched on that in a couple posts. Maybe a couple months ago, I announced that based off their surveys, they added Ride Godzilla. Well, actually, before Ride Godzilla was even added to the list, they had it listed as the ride designs, right? So Anything that's considered the past ride experiences are now available, and we also have the Pachinko game as well that is also available to use in the actual lineup as well. So if you're wondering like what that means, it's like Void Ghidorah, or not Void Ghidorah, I'm sorry, Shin Ghidorah, as fans call it. It's just regular, it's just called King Ghidorah, but that's what it is referred to as. So that one also counts now. We've also got access to the King Ghidorah design. There's a brief cameo by Rodan. I don't know if they would ever include that, but MonsterArts has surprised us before with the limited appearance monsters and concept monsters, so that is also a possibility. So we threw that in there on the survey that I posted as well. And what else? Who else is in the Ride series? Oh, and then of course the first Ride Godzilla. So, and I think a lot of people get confused when they hear Ride Godzilla, especially here in the States. They go, this doesn't look like Ride Godzilla at all. It looks like -1. And you are correct. It does look like -1 because that's what the Ride Great Clash Godzilla does look like. They did use the model from -1 and then they just updated it for Great Clash with kind of like a little bit of a hybrid design from the first Ride Godzilla. So you're not wrong, but I see the sentiment saying, oh, well, this is just a lazy release, but I mean, you could look at it that way, but at the same time, I feel like we all like all of our Godzillas at the end of the day, right? We all like our iterations of Godzilla, and there is a fan, even if you're not a fan of it, there is a fan of it, and that's who they're making this for. And, you know, this is also clearly a Toho push, more than anything. Like, nobody in our circles, obviously, because we don't have the Ride Godzilla presentation, we don't have that out here. But in Japan, obviously, there's some waves. They want to celebrate this, so the Toho was definitely asking Tamashii to go ahead and make this figure. And, you know, with this figure, we know that G-Breaker is a possibility now, more than the others that we just mentioned. So,
makes my
hope that
little
answers that
robot
question.
lizard heart happy.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Figure out.
Okay, everybody. So here we are. Let me pull this back just a little bit more. Okay, so here it is. We have all of our Ride Godzillas here, all in a row. Let's take a closer look at them. As soon as I unlock this here, I want to do some free movement here.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll get even a little bit closer, actually. So there's that. Let me bring them a little bit closer.
Just looking at the
Doing this
wide
wide
shot,
way.
it's interesting to see that the feet are a different dry brush.
Yeah, so, you know, as I'm
That's
looking
weird.
at it, there's, I would say that the red isn't as, I'd say it's subtle, but it's definitely there. Looking at it, I had to let my eyes adjust for a second, but it's definitely there, especially on the chest, on the, as we scroll down and look at the thighs, you can see that red on there as well. As far as the dry brushing on the toes goes, it's not so
belly.
red, but it's definitely there. It's definitely there on the front side of the figure. So
Yeah,
let's
the belly seems like it's got a lot.
let's take a look at all of them though. We're going to scroll from the top and work our way to the left. And you'll have different views. You'll have a front view, side view, slightly side view.
Now, does this guy still have the ring piece that -1 has, or is it all one solid piece?
So this one also has the floating piece in the midsection, so that's still present.
Gotcha.
And for anybody that's curious about articulation, we will open one of these guys up to see what the heck is going on the inside.
Woohoo!
So
Little dismemberment, never heard.
yeah,
One.
now that I'm looking at it through the viewfinder, you can definitely see the red. It's definitely there. So much more apparent. So that's a nice way to separate it from the actual -1 paint job. So
Although it is kind of weird because -1 did have fleshy pinky tones in some spots. Usually where there was like scarring or battle damage from like being shot by the tanks or in his face. So his chest had it too from I think where the battleship shot him in the chest. So
Yeah, like that
Yes.
near like center of the collarbone before it hits the neck.
well like right in his pecs. Right in front of his Yeah.
Okay, so
If
let's
Godzilla's-
we're gonna flip these guys on their side now.
Ooh.
Subtle red looks better than the solicitation pics where it looks like he has rash on the chest. Haha. Yeah, you know, that's the difference between a paint master versus a factory sample, right? And sometimes the factory version fixes what you may have not liked in the actual promo itself, but in this case, maybe it worked out okay. You can definitely see a lot more of the red on the back, especially on the dorsals. That's 100% there.
A little bit of variance on the upper leg too, with that pink, that kind of pink red.
I think that one thing that we've established with MonsterArts is that when it comes to dry brushing effects, you're never going to get anything one-to-one. It's always going to be different depending on each figure that you're going to get. So I fully expect this figure to have a lot of variance in that area. Let's scroll down here. Yeah. And that's not a bad thing. It's just like sometimes, I mean, it's just, this is a limitation to our human selves, right? There's so many different people working on different parts of this, and there's just no way you're going to get something one-to-one when it comes to dry brushed effects. So it's a gamble when you get this kind of stuff, and if you really, really care about that, you might get a really good one that's got a lot of coverage, and then other ones you might have a little bit of coverage, you know? I guess it just depends on how, for lack of a better word, how nitpicky you are when it comes to these kind of things, right?
Yeah.
Well, when you have a design that is as chaotic and organic looking, like Ride or Minus, it's going to be hard to paint with any consistency to begin with. It's just too messy.
Yeah. But I am liking what I'm seeing right here, you know, for the most part. Like, if I had any of these figures by themselves, I think I'd be okay with any of them if I didn't have the other ones to compare against. There's definitely some ones that are standouts, a little bit more of a standout when it comes to coverage, but we'll get even a better idea in just a moment on that. And let's look at the back side of these guys.
Yeah, I noticed the tan color on his feet is noticeably brighter than like anything else on his body.
Yeah.
Yes.
but then again, he's kicking and stepping on stuff, and so maybe that's, yeah.
Debris on his feet.
Mm-hmm. Dust, dirt, dead people.
Right. So let's
Maybe the human
let's
too.
zoom out a little bit here. So here's all four of them from the back side.
Is Ride Goji a bigger Godzilla in scale?
I think it is, because it does take place in modern day era. So I think it is sized up to be 100 meters.
Okay, because even the Goose, thinking about it, because I think like the Goose is slightly bigger than a human, but
Yes.
obviously.
So I think it
yeah.
is scaled up to the 100 meters because it definitely fits that scale.
Yeah.
Let's zoom in. So here it is from the back side right there. The red is very noticeable on the back.
Well, I am definitely liking what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, the backside of, honestly, I like the dorsals on this way better than -1s. -1s are neat in their own way, but I prefer this dorsal layout much better.
In terms of like the shape and coloration, or
The shape, the overall silhouette, I think it's a better silhouette. At least
more
for my
traditional Heisei looking.
taste. Yeah, I think that works. I think that's the more about it is that -1 does have more of a Heisei look to it, so I think that the fins being smaller and more shaped like this are more fitting to the character's face and overall shape. I think that the design, like if they saved the dorsals for -0, that they did for -1, I think those would look great on -0 too. So, but -0 does its own thing, right? They've got their own jaggedness to them, and I think they look spectacular on that figure too. So,
Oh yeah,
but I think
so far the design
-1's
looks amazing.
yeah, I think -1's dorsals would have also worked very well for -0 if, you know, that was the natural evolution. If that was like the Ride Godzilla and they did that for the Ride, I think that would work too. So, okay. All right, guys. So we've got these guys over here and everything. So what we're going to do now, we're going to transition to just seeing one figure. And we're going to explore the articulation as well as looking at the sculpt in a more zoomed up way and everything. You guys can see those details. But until then, what we're going to do is we're going to hear from our sponsor, Hobby Genki, today. Hobby Genki was kind enough to work with me on getting these over. And we're just going to listen to a quick message from those dudes because they rock. If you guys don't know who Hobby Genki is a kind of like a middleman sales group. They do get stuff from Bandai themselves, but premium Bandai stuff, they also are able to get those and bring those over. So, before we continue, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Hobby Genki, for providing these figures quickly and efficiently for this video. Type in S.H.MonsterArts. From there, you'll be able to search all their latest releases. Hobby Genki offers pre-order discounts on general releases, which is a great way to save a little bit of money if you're planning on picking up multiple figures. If you plan on purchasing multiple items that release in different months, Hobby Genki also offers something called their private warehouse. This option appears at the bottom of the shipping section and allows you to hold items until multiple products arrive. They can be shipped together later. Think of it similarly to a pile of loot system. Just make sure you're using it for multiple items rather than a single purchase. If you want more detailed information about their shipping process, custom fees, or their return policy, you can click on the Click Here for Details section under the FedEx DTP shipping option. That page explains their preparation process, shipping methods, customs information, and return procedures. You can also follow Hobby Genki across social media on YouTube, Instagram, and X to keep up with the new arrivals and announcements. So once again, a big thank you to Hobby Genki for helping sponsor this video and sending these figures over. Now let's get back to the video. So let's zoom in. Let's take a closer look at this guy. So starting with the head. Yeah, this is our nice... So let's start... Let's see here. I think we can get this close. Yes. We can get this close, I think. All right.
Get up in those googly mooglies.
So one of the big differences between this figure and -1 is that we have white sclera paint on the eyes now. Before, the eyes were just yellow with a little black dot in there, but now they've added the white, and that just looks so much better. Right off the bat, it looks so much better. And I wish that they did this for -1. That was one of my biggest complaints about that. But look at that, you can see it on the side right there. You've got that white sclera.
Like, for some reason, they made -1's eyes brown. Like, his eyes aren't brown, they're yellow.
Yeah.
It's like, the white parts especially are like, that's like, his eyes are so fierce. It's like, yeah.
And the teeth look great, though. The teeth are very sharp in detail. Let's get that mouth to kind of look upward here. Yeah, that mouth looks great. The teeth are well defined. The paint doesn't seem too thick, so you can see a lot of the sharpness right there. And one of the big gimmicks with this new figure, this new head mold, is that it is able to look up, all the way up, and look at that, just with one hand. We're able to get it all the way back as much as we can. Yes, we can. There it is.
Ooh!
Look at that.
You could
That's
not
fantastic.
do that with -1.
No, you could not. So this is a
You
whole
couldn't even
new...
move the neck with one hand.
Interestingly enough, though, by doing that, it causes the jaw to move forward. So it's actually... Actually, I think it might have disconnected. 1 second. Let me... I might have disconnected it when I pulled it back too far, because now that's... Is it actually disconnected? Hold on.
I think you just need to tuck it back in.
I think I did disconnect it.
Yeah, it's hanging on by his little membranes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a second. Let me get this guy out of the shot. I think I did disconnect it when I pulled him back right there.
You pulled on it wrong, man.
He broke his jaw.
Okay, there we go. So, yeah, I did pop out the jaw when I leaned it back, but using 2 hands to get that extra... Yeah, look at that. You can get him really, really far back up there.
Can his mouth open wider than -1? It looks like it.
I think so, because now that it's a different mechanism on the inside, and it does look like they cut open the neck area right here, so you can get this, because I don't remember seeing the masticizer not hanging out like this before, so I think the mouth can definitely open up further. The tongue is articulated as well, by the way, so you guys can get that out. That's pretty sick looking.
Someone's asking if he's able to look up via just the head joint, or if it's like the whole head and neck.
It's very little bit. It's a combination of everything. So if you were to hold it standard and you have the head looking up, let's see here, without moving the neck. So that's as far as the head will go up. If you held the neck straight out in its neutral position, it's still looking straight up, but you're gonna have to you do have to lean it back further with the neck to get it all the way up.
It's still not bad though.
But anyways, less on articulation for now. Let's get back to looking at the sculpt and painted details. So let me pull this forward back again. One thing to note is on the back side of this, let me bring this down so we can kind of look at it from a little bit higher. One thing to note, guys, is on the back of this, you still have these 3 dorsals are still slotted into the neck piece right here. So they do adjust when you move the neck backwards. They do slide forward and backwards. I will say they are thicker and much more sturdier than -1s. You can still see it kind of wiggles a little bit right there. But when I lean the head back, it did not fall out or anything. So those are still present, if you're wondering about that. It does look like there might be some changes there too. We'll have to see when I bring out -1 to see if they've actually changed anything on the back side of it. But I do love the transition. Go ahead.
I think so. Well, I was looking at my -1 just now, and it maybe, but we'll wait later.
Yeah. Later. So I am digging the transition. So we got yellow. It's like a yellowish mustard green. And then it transfers more into that red paint application on the back of that. And I think this is pretty cool. I think this is a nice way to break up the sculpt. Originally, I was just like, why is it red? But I do like this a lot better this time. Seeing it in hand, it works better. And I think that maybe that's what was leading me astray before, was just people's candid photos. But seeing this in person, I do love the balance, that the contrast between the different colorations right there. So I think that's pretty cool.
I'm kind of curious to see if I'm kind of curious to see if the base, like dark brown or black, is darker than -1, because it kind of feels like it, but it might just be the lighting.
It might be more green. I think it's more green. Okay. I think it is definitely more green than -1s. So let me bring this back up and let's look at this.
I did notice maybe one variance was the center spine, the main big spine. Did one side not have dry brushing on it?
It's possible. We can look at that when we do the variance stuff.
Okay.
So let's look at the chest area right here. So here's our chest. Look at that. Chesty LaRue's here.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not slopped on. You know, that was one of the big issues that the first -1 figure had, was that this particular area in the center was just like somebody just took a brush and just went, and that was it, right? There's some actual delicate touches right here to get everything to pop, so I like that. As far as the nails go, the nails are also noticeably greener as well, less of the paint on them. So let me try to angle this out. Yeah, the nails don't have so much yellow on them like -1 does. -1, all of those figures had more of that brown tan color, but for the Ride Godzilla, it's green for the nail colors.
Hmm.
So that's a neat little difference too. Let's keep looking down here. Look at all that red right there on the chest, the abdomen, even on the lower abdominal area. Wow. That's
Is
just
the floating
great.
ring a slightly different color?
It does
Looks like it.
look like they have a little bit of this, more of that. It's like the side of this right here. And it looks like a little bit of the red, but it's a little bit washed out.
Yeah. Kind of grayer.
It might just be this one too. But yeah, the floating ring does look a little off. Especially on the backside, you see how it's a little bit brighter right there. And I think that's one of the big things is like when you're painting all these things separately, right? It does seem like the dry brushing is lighter overall on it though.
Yeah.
Compared to the rest of it. Let's look at the other legs right here. Look at that.
I do like the dry brushing on the feet.
There's our front view of the feet. Let's see here. I see a question right here. Hi, I don't know if you remember me from the -0 drop talk, and I asked about the head articulation, and you said the articulation was going to be like this. And I must say, I am more happy about the fig when it's out. Awesome. Really glad that you're looking forward to it right there. Let's see the other side. Let's get a close-up of these toes. How's that sound, guys? You want to get some toe shots? Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Oh my.
It's definitely brighter. Out of all the dry brushing, it's definitely the brightest on the feet, for sure.
I wonder if that's from the design. Like, it's clearly intentional, and it's very, very different compared to kind of the rest of the figure. So I wonder if like the design is meant to have that.
I think so, because it's like that for all 4 of these figures too.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Well,
look
like
at
how
the
we
tail.
talked earlier, where it could be like the debris when he's walking through it.
Oh yeah, there's that too. Let's look at the dorsals really quick. I didn't remember getting a good side shot of those, so let's look at that for a moment. So the dorsals are smaller. They're not as long or as large. They're very neatly done. Dry brushing is kind of what it is. You know, some of them are brighter, some of them are darker in areas.
Yeah, the third one in the middle, it looks like it did not get nearly as much compared to the rest.
Yeah, it looks a little.
And it gets really, really, really dark at the base of the tail right here. And since we're already here at the tail, might as well just keep going. The dry brushing on the tail is phenomenal. It's fantastic. It's exactly just like how it looked in the promo. You know, you've got all that throughout the whole tail. Even on the bottom of the tail, it's there. So that's good attention to detail. Love it. Let's look at the other side. Actually, we'll look at the back side right now. Let's do that. So back side of it, that's what I'm saying. It's just quite clean. You can still see the opened areas where the -1 spines did make more sense, you know? Like there's a big empty giant crevice from that large dorsals from both of these where those ones go. So you can definitely tell like, oh, those didn't originally go there.
Does this design, when it fires its heat ray, does its spines protrude out like -1 or?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen it, so I don't know, unfortunately, if it does
I
that
don't
or
know
not.
either.
So, and then here is the back side of that. Let's look at the side view of this too. Look at that. It's looking good. I love this. Oh, let's start from the top. We saw the other ones. Let's look at the side of the dorsals on this side right here. Yeah, it gets a little messy in some spots right there.
Well, just to kind of bring it up, because I know it's probably going to come up again, but one person was asking if this was going to be normal release or P-Bandai.
This is a general release. So that means in Japan it's sold at general retailers like AmiAmi, HLJ, Hobby Search. It's even sold at Hobby Genki if it's still available there. And then as far as the US goes, it's just normal sales per usual. So it's not going to be anywhere exclusive or anything like that. So you can pick this up at general retail like Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, E-Night Media, Kappa Hobby, Toku Collectibles. They're all really great. So yeah, overall, guys, I am digging everything that we saw here. It all looks really good. So let's look at some questions really quick. I'm going to take a water break right here. Let's look at some questions. And then we will get into articulation, which I know a lot of people are really looking forward to that. So let's look at our questions right here. Let's see here. We got dry brushing. Dry brushing is so much better. I pulled up the wrong one. There's a bit of a delay. Dry brushing is so much better than -1. I agree with that 100%. Yeah, it's so much better.
It's funny because I think early pictures we felt like it was a little pink, and it was. Some of the pictures were a little too pink, but it turns out that the figure does have a little bit of pink in it.
Yeah, Gigazilla says, "I'm so excited because that means there is a probability that Bandai is going to make the MonsterArts Mechagodzilla from the Great Clash." It all depends on sales, and it also depends on Toho. And it depends on you as the consumer too. So as long as people show up for this figure, it signals that, you know, they'll make other things within that franchise. So hopefully we'll see more of this in the future. Vote with your wallet, you know? That's how it goes with these guys.
It is pretty wild that it's a general release, so they have a good amount of confidence that this is going to sell.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's look at articulation. So the first thing, let me pop out my screen right here so I can stand over everything and do this at the same time. And I'm going to move a light so I'm not blocking the light. All right. Okay. So first thing that we'll look at is the head. We saw a little bit of that just a minute ago. Let's look at it again. The head itself is able to articulate all the way up. It's very smooth. It was a little stuck at first. You do have to kind of wiggle it around a little bit, but after I've moved it quite a bit now, it is able to move very smoothly, which is night and day with compared to -1. -1's neck is such a stiff system, even the head. And with this right here, you're able to kind of tilt it back, no problem, all the way looking up. And you can also tilt forward, and it just moves so nicely. There's no resistance. As far as looking down goes, it looks like this is as far as it will go though. Without bending the body downward, that's as far as Godzilla will be able to look down. So unless we can adjust this a little further on the back, I don't think so though. Yeah, that's it. So that's as far as it's gonna look down. And I still think that's more than what -1 could ever do anyways. So I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with that?
Oh yeah, just looking at it, the neck range and head movement is vastly better than -1, and I think it's definitely a big improvement. He might have broke his jaw again.
Yeah. So let's look at it from the front. Let's look at it from the front side of it, right? So here's it. It's still looking kind of downward right there. Oh, that's a mean pose right there. Look at that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's
that.
building up for an atomic breath right there. That's what that is.
So let me lift this guy back.
Neck hunch.
So let's lift this back up. Let's do some side-to-side motion right here. This was also a trouble area with -1. You couldn't really get it to do a side-to-side look. Let's kind of tilt it. As far as tilting goes, you definitely have a little bit more at the base of the neck to do that tilt. Trying not to tilt the body so we can get that. It's still kind of restricted though. There's not a whole lot you can do with the side-to-side because the sculpt of the neck is touching the next part right here, so there's not too much that you can get out of that, unfortunately. You might be able to get a little bit more if you heat treat it, but that's kind of it, unfortunately. So there's not too much. I feel like with -1 though, you barely could do anything, so this is still a little bit more than what -1 can do. Let's do a twist motion. Let's see how far we can twist the head with this new neck system. Look at that. You couldn't do this with -1 at all. Look at that.
Maybe that's where you're going to be able to have like the side to side is first twist it and then so you can have a little bit more side to
Yeah.
side going.
So before, this joint in the middle of the neck, you couldn't move that really that well.
No.
It was just stuck on there. I think there's might be some dorsals there too in the way. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I just remember I could not twist this without hurting my hand like a lot. But you can twist this middle neck part. The base neck cannot twist. It just cannot, because it just is flush. It's flush with the sculpt right there. So this isn't going to twist at the base, but you're going to get that twisty notion there, and then you can twist it even further with the head, which is, you know, already a lot more than what -1 could ever do. So you can get him to look kind of backwards a little bit right there. As we mentioned, the head inside the mouth right here, guys. Let me bring the camera up a little bit more. Actually, let's bring the table down. Haha. So I think I dislocated the jaw again.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Curious to see if the other ones have kind of that jaw thing going on there.
yeah, the mouth can definitely open up way more. Look at that. That's way more than what yeah, this is definitely way more than what could have been done with -1.
Yeah.
You could not open it up that far.
That's like the final battle wide. You know, that's as wide as his mouth was near the
And you know,
end
when
of
this
the
is
battle.
looking upward, that looks much better than how we had it a second ago. So it just depends on your pose. Like, if you're going to open it up that wide, you're really going to have to make this guy look upward to make it look better. But the tongue is articulated, though. It is on a joint right there. So that does move up and down. And when it's looking upwards, I don't know if we did this while it's looking up. Can we twist it? Yeah, so you can still get some nice twisty notion out of that right there. You can have it look left. It does kind of make a clicking sound when you're doing this. But overall, it's not bad. So, and then you can see the Masticizer right there. When you open and shut it, it does move inward and outward, just like -1 did. Might even move better, honestly. I think it does.
Those are the Masticizers, are the little flaps on the side of his mouth, right?
Yes, that's right here where my thumb is at, right there, that little piece right there. And the other thing is that the red on the inside, I didn't touch on this a minute ago when we were talking about the paint, but it's more like the Reissue's paint job on the inside of the mouth, so it's not a bright red like the first -1. It's definitely the darker red, and I think that looks a lot better too. And the mouth, the mouth can shut all the way. Look at that, guys. The mouth shuts.
I think MonsterArts is learning that they can't use that like Joker red color for the mouth, that a darker, kind of more muted red is better.
This is really cool. I love that the mouth can actually shut all the way, because I don't think any of the -1s were able to do that. So this is really cool. I won't take it apart just yet. Let's look at other parts, but we will be taking it apart to see what's going on, what's different. Let's look at
before, how straight are the eyes? Because they're kind of hard to see because they're glossy. So it's a little hard to see if they're like super straight or not.
I don't think we're going to see it with this lens, because I'm zoomed in all the way, and if I get closer, it's going to get out of focus.
It's just going to be out of focus, yeah.
Yeah, so, but, I mean, they're okay. We'll see that when I do my figure photography. We'll have a closer look at those eyeballs. So just look forward to that. They're so small. Even I'm looking at the screen right now, and I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
I can't zoom in, unfortunately, but when we're doing live like this, but it is looking good.
And
so let's look at the torso now. Let's look at that. And let's see what we can do. So if you guys remember, -1, a lot of movement is restricted, especially in the torso, middle torso area, right? But at the top, you were able to twist it around. First of all, I want to make sure that we have some clearance, right? There is decent clearance on the back side of the first joint, and then there is also good clearance on the back side right here as well. We also know from photos online that there is a new joint system on the inside. It is an extendable joint, so you are able to extend it. See that right there, how we were able to bring it up? So it does extend. You saw me push it down, so you can lift up, and that will help with the abdominal movement. So when you lift it up, you want to push it backwards, and then you can have Godzilla lean forward. It is going to create an unsightly gap, but you can fix that with the floating ring. It doesn't have to be that way. You can move your floating ring around right there, and you can kind of close that up a little bit more. And when Godzilla's now looking down, remember, he couldn't look down all that well. So now that we've adjusted that with the new floating joint, Godzilla can now look all the way down to the ground. That's pretty cool. So, you know, it's assisted system, right? So you've got the middle section leading into the next system, and you are able to get it to have him look down now. So that's pretty dope. And with this, you can also do that crouching pose and have Godzilla look straight up now to do that beam attack. So that's pretty cool. This is something that -1 definitely can't do with, oh, I just popped out the joint doing that. Interesting. Oh, this is interesting. So I don't have -1 on me right now, but I will in a second. So I just popped this guy off by accident, but in doing so, I believe that -1 uses a ball joint, and this one does not. This is using a peg system that plugs into the sides. So let me zoom in. I don't know if you guys can see that well. Let me move this out of the way. So this is why the jaw possibly has more movement than -1s. You see that right there? What do you guys think?
Interesting. So it's held together by the
these little pegs right here on the
things.
side. Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's what's holding that up. So yeah, so that's how the mouth potentially has more movement than the other one did. It's because of that joint system. That's really cool. Makes me like this figure a lot more already. So, and before I feel like the floating piece was more of a hindrance. I feel like now it's actually useful at hiding gaps. So you can adjust this to hide that. Almost hide
especially
it.
with the 2.0 articulation.
Yeah, so definitely with the 2.0 articulation. So that was it looking down. Let's look at, so you can see I have it extended right now. So now you can see how ugly that looks when it's extended, right? He's looking up like that. Oh my goodness. So let's do some side-to-side motion. Let me zoom back out a little bit right here. So as far as tilting goes, now that you can lift that joint up, you can get a little bit more tilting. You do probably want to adjust this though accordingly while you're doing it. I'm going to sit this back down though, so it's not extended anymore. So you just, simple push, that's all it took, and it's back being flush again. Tilting, yeah, you know, you do have, it's easier to move the upper torso because of those large dorsals not being there. That was on -1, so this is easier to move. As far as rotation goes, you know, you've got clearance. It all moves together right there. That's fantastic. So that's some decent movement. That's some decent turn.
Oh yeah, that I feel like articulation with joint over systems, like the joint sitting over instead of inside of it. I feel like we'll have a bit more movement to move around.
Yeah, and of course you'll need to adjust this if you're doing figure photography because there's parts of it that look ugly, of course. But this is just, we're just showing off maximum range potential, right? So there's that to consider. Very cool. That middle part, you'll have to move these segments. This is so cool. I wonder if this top part's also extendable.
What I've seen online, I don't feel like it is. I think it's mostly the waist.
I feel like it's the same right here on this. It feels the same, but it definitely is. It's different on this guy right here in the center. So that's really cool. Let's look at, that's kind of as far as the twisting goes. Yeah, when you twist it more, the arms are going to get in the way, so you're going to have to lift up those arms. Let's see if we can get it to... Yeah, look at that. Oh my god. Cursed!
You about to pull Godzilla 2000?
What just happened?
You sent it all the way around.
Oh my gosh. You couldn't do this. Forget about it. -1, could this do this? No way. Absolutely not. This is insane. And this is... Also, it's mortifying. Look how dislocated it is with this extended system.
He's not Shin Godzilla, man.
Oh my gosh. So if you're wondering if you can twist it 360, yes you can. If it's extended, you can do it. But if it's pushed down, forget about that. You're not going to be able to get that to do 360 motion. But extended joint wise, yes. As far as that movement goes, let me move this around actually. Let me move we're zoomed out. Let me move a little bit further back for this.
Did Godzilla's 2000 have the extended joint for like his upper chest, or was that for only his waist?
He had it.
Yeah, he had it
places.
everywhere. Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, he had it everywhere, those extendable joints. So
His
that's as far
shoulders,
as that torso articulation goes without extending it. It goes that far. When you extend it, you can push it backwards and you can get it to extend more going downwards like that. So, and then tilting from side to side, you've got your upper torso for that. Let's look at arm articulation. As far as arms go, they move quite nicely. So they can rotate, it looks like. Yep, they can rotate at the shoulder 360 degrees. Let's see here. What else can we do with that?
It's the
Do they
elbow got
extend?
a little bit more.
The elbow is still constrained because of the sculpt. The sculpt of the elbow, right there. Let me zoom in. So the sculpt of the elbow, there's two spikes right here. So as soon as that spike back here hits this other spike, that's as far as it's going to go. So you're still limited on that. There's no extendable joint in the arm, so that doesn't move. The arm is probably the same, honestly, as far as articulation engineering goes. So don't expect any major differences. It does seem to move easier though, like with one finger. Look at that.
So that's one thing that my -1, you know, some people were complaining because they wanted his arms to be more bent for like the final pose in the movie. And the only thing I noticed with mine was getting into something close to that pose was really stiff for my reissue.
Yeah.
Like
So, yeah. And as far as like the elbow bend goes, like, you know, that's
not.
kind of it.
Yeah, he doesn't
It's-
bend them much in the whole movie.
Yeah, there's a little bit more movement in the bicep area to accommodate, you know, a little bit of extra movement. Like right here, you can see how it kind of bends unnaturally to get that extra movement, but that's kind of it. So, but the arms, they you know, they still go up and down. You know, you can still flap them back and forth. They don't drop down as much, just a little bit of a drop down, not too much of a drop. You can make them nice and flush. It's already pretty tight as it is on the sides right there as well. So it looks pretty good, honestly. And, you know, your wrist articulation, it's good. I mean, the hands move 360 degrees right there. Not popping off. That's always a good sign, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, definitely looks a lot more fluid than -1.
Yeah.
My reissue's hands popped off all the time.
So as far as like wrist movement, look at that. Your wrist movement, you got up and down movement right there. So you can definitely do that very nicely right there. Get that extra. So you can do that kind of curved thing where you can have the, you know, the hand more downward, or you can have it bent more upward. But it's looking pretty good on that. Let's look at the legs now. Let's look at the legs.
Those thick ass thighs.
Yeah, those thighs. They can't lie.
It's funny because the
Yes,
legs for -1 seem to be pretty good for what they were, you know, for Thunder thighs.
Yeah. So as far as leg articulation goes, though, so they can go all the way out. Look at that. As far as the sides go, I feel like this is pretty much unchanged with -1. -1 could do this already. And then, so you can spread those out. As far as movement goes, this is buttery smooth. Look at that. You can just rotate it just nicely, 360 degrees at the thigh for both of them. I don't know if this is different. I'll have to look at -1, but there is. Let me go grab my -1 really quick. I just need to double check this. I'm not sure if this. I'm not sure if this is new or if this is old, but okay, no, there's no change. Yeah, there's a little flap
on the back.
Yeah, there's a little flap on the leg right there. That is the same, so that's not changed.
One thing I've liked MonsterArts doing is when they do Godzilla figures with abnormally large and thick thighs, but they're able to make them pose like extremely well. That I've always found fascinating.
Yeah.
Unless it's Heisei.
Let me zoom out.
Yeah, I mean,
for this.
my 91 moves pretty well, despite his thighs being thicker than anything I've seen.
I don't know. I'm just jealous because I want a Heisei that poses as good as -1.
Right? That'd be dope. So as far as -1's leg articulation goes, we've got good movement right here at the leg. It does stop. There's a joint right here that's similar to -1 that kind of goes up and down. It's like a sheathed piece more than it is a joint, but that does kind of go inward when you bend that leg backwards. So there's that it still has. You got a decent amount of bend though right there. The ankle movement as far as the foot goes, you know, you've got that pivot still, which is great. So you can move that leg around. And of course we have the signature toe articulation. That is also back. So these are rather stiff out of the box, but you can move them around. So, and depending on how you have Godzilla posed, they will spread accordingly. So you can have them really bent forward. So let's just kind of go ahead and do that really quick. Having them kind of lean forward and spread these toes out a little bit.
It's probably a good thing that they're stiff, since it's for the feet and everything.
Yeah, so there's an example right there. So there's the toes more splayed on the back side of it to kind of accommodate that extra movement right there. So I'm happy with the leg articulation. There's nothing doesn't seem to be anything special compared to -1. If you are familiar with that figure, you kind of already know what to expect. Although I think that I like that the toes are a lot stiffer because I feel like the toes on -1 were a little bit loose. I never had any of mine that actually popped out, but these feel great and they still pose very nicely though. So
all four of mine, I've never had any issues with the toes. They've all been pretty solid for the most part.
Yeah. So, and then as far as the, let's look at the tail articulation now. Let's flip it on this side actually. So as far as tail articulation goes, is it different? Is it better? I think it's pretty much the same as before. You can have the tail all the way out and down like that. Let's see if we can do a shape just without even heating it up. Look at the curve. The curve is nice. Very nice. A lot of people were saying that, you know, you can't do much with -1's tail, but I feel like you could do enough with it.
Yeah, like, that was the thing that made me fall in love with the figure, because I did heat treat it a little bit, but I was able to kind of get it all, you know, it's pretty wiggly for a little tail.
Yeah, so you can definitely go, let's see here, upwards. How far can we go upwards? Upwards, it's gonna be a bit of a stickler because it is restricted to the scope. Oh, there we go. Yep, pushed it too far. Let me get that back on there. As far as going upwards goes, yeah, that's... Let me just bend this with... I prefer to do this with 2 hands. As much as I can.
To answer your question, Godzilla, no, this guy does not have the extending joints for the legs. It's only for the waist as far as we know. And the neck, I think.
Yeah, let me try the legs actually for... Well, we'll take it apart and we can see. But I'm pretty sure... Yeah, there's no extendable joint at the knee. And as far as the hip goes, that's business as usual. It's just on a ball joint that can, you know, slightly move up and down. So you can see I'm pushing up and down, but that's not anything like extendable by any means. It's just normal ball joint movement. So it's no changes right there. And as far as the tail goes, you know, let me bring this a little bit further out that way.
See, the legs I don't think really need it. I think they're pretty good to begin with.
So this is as far up I can get the tail to curve, because you have parts of the sculpt that are now blocking, conflicted, or they're colliding with each other. So this is as far as you're going to get the tail to move upwards on that. As far as downwards go, let's try that the opposite way. And you're going to get a lot more movement. You might get some parts popping off while you do this process, especially if you're going from all the way from one extreme to the other. So let me see how far we can go. Get it downwards here. Ah, the spikes are sticking to my gloves.
Gonna have one glove here shortly.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. So as far as the maximum downward, you definitely have a lot more range curling it this direction. Look at that. and just keeps going.
Yeah,
Oh, that was it.
the
That was it
torsos
right
hitting
there.
each other.
Yeah. So, I will say this. If you push it too far, it will pop out, but it looks like... Oh, yep, there we go. I got it to buckle. This is great. Look at that.
I think because the double barbells, if you arrange them in such a way, sometimes they'll kind of wiggle where they just suddenly give you way more
Yeah.
range.
So I think that's what's going on here too, because right here, definitely it just released all of a sudden, and I was able to get a lot more movement out of this right here to get it to go downwards. But that's decent. That's a good amount of range right there on this guy right here, going downwards. So that's definitely there. Let's put this back into position. So that's a sliding piece right there that kind of can be adjusted. And as far as your side-to-side motion goes, it's pretty okay. It's nothing to write home about like Godzilla 2000. And if you heat treat this, you can definitely get it to go a lot further than this. So that's the curve so far. Let me see if I can get it off camera a little bit more with two hands here. Let's see how far we can get this guy.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna say and that's all without having it being heat treated.
Yes, if we heat treated this guy, I'm pretty confident that I can get it to even move. I did this with -1, and I heat treated it, and I was able to get it to move a lot further as well. So, yeah. But just out of the box, I know a lot of people want to be able to see how far it can really go, but you really got to use two hands to do this, and you just have to kind of work at it. So, but here's what we have achieved with two hands. No heat treatment. So that's a decent amount of curve, honestly.
For a thick little tail like that, yeah.
It's good range.
See what -0 can do.
Yeah. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm pretty satisfied with it. Articulation, it's an upgrade. Period. It's an upgrade over -1s. You know, let's open it up. Let's see what's different on. Let's start with the torso first. Hope I can get it. Yeah, I hope I can get this open without causing any issues.
Yeah, those double joints are usually kind of a pain because they extend.
Yeah, exactly. When you pull it, it starts to extend like it's normal, right? So here's the inside. It's just like -1 on the inside right there. You can take off the floating ring if you want to. Not too many differences right there. That's about the same per usual right there. But if we put that off to the side and let's take a look at the internals of the new guy right here. So here is the internals. This is the 2.0 joint that you can see right here. I got twisted when I was doing that for some reason. So I need to twist that back into place. Probably from when I was twisting it earlier. So let's fix that.
I wonder if Tamashii Spirits patented that joint system.
Not sure. So, but I've fixed it, so now it's facing forward. I think that happened when I twisted it earlier. It is really in there, by the way. Like, it's not going anywhere. Like, it's a ball joint that attaches right here still. So, but this joint system is, you know, it's extendable. So the whole thing is able to, you know, that's the whole gimmick right there. And it's so weird because the joint itself doesn't actually extend. It's a hinge system, but by, you know, if it's on something and you extend it upwards, then it makes it go upward. So it's very unique in how it works. But it does work. And this little square piece right here, I know somebody was asking, I think it was you, RoboLizard, that was asking, can it be swapped with the original -1? So
even just that one little piece, although you said it's stiff in there.
Yeah. So here's -1. So I'm going to show you guys the differences between -1's internal and -0. So let me get this a little bit closer here. Let's bring this back up a little bit. Okay.
And what it says, oh, that's Gore, my comfort character.
Yeah, so here is, so this right on our left over here, this is the new mechanism for the ride, and then right here is for -1. So it's just a simple ball joint system. Now, here's the good news, is that the, let's see here, I don't know if they're the same size, just let me ball.
looks like it. It looks like the sculpt is the same and the plug might be the same. Or the socket.
They might be the same. Let me, should we go for it? Should we try to pull it out and see if we can switch it?
I would recommend a hairdryer or heat treatment of choice to maybe loosen it.
Yeah, you know what? It's yeah, it's really on there. I'm gonna have to heat treat that to do it. But hypothetically, there is a chance that if you wanted to upgrade your -1, you may be able to actually swap these actual joints. They look, just from eyeballing it, they look the same. Let me just take another look here. They look about the same. I think they might be the same. The cutout does seem to be a slightly bigger though on the Ride. At worst, or in the if you really wanted to do it, the square panel piece right here is the same. It's the same square panel. So if you were unable to successfully separate these, I have a feeling Robo Lizard's going to do this when he gets this. He's going to try and do this.
Oh yeah.
But
absolutely.
But if he's not successful with taking out the ball joint and swapping the ball joints, this piece right here, if you heated this up and used some tweezers to pull this out, you could swap this whole panel piece between these two and have an upgraded -1. It's entirely possible.
Yeah. Is that internal structure piece, the black part?
Yes.
Looks exactly the same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same size. It's the same cutout. It's the same. The only thing that might be different is the hole. The hole for the ball joint might be different right there. So.
Yeah, the socket. Yeah.
So sock it to me, baby. Right. So all right. So that was.
And I think the only other thing different that you did kind of point out earlier is that the spines on the back of the neck might be different for the neck piece between the two.
Here.
So
let me see the connection here. Just I'm looking at them. You know, the connection looks to be the same actually. Yeah, I believe the connection is the same.
yes.
Let's try this. Let's go ahead and pull out. I'm
See
gonna
if
pull out
they're
this middle
swappable.
one from -1, and we'll see if I'm gonna pull out this one from the Ride, and we'll just kind of compare them on the table here. And they look the same to me. They look the same. Let me get this into the shot for you guys right here, if I can.
Just a little kind of square, rounded off little plug.
Yeah, so there it is. They look the same. You know what? I'm gonna have to hold these up.
Yeah, they're
I'm gonna
tiny.
have to hold them up. They're very small. But yeah, so I have -1 on my right hand, and then I have the new one right there on my left. They look identical.
Yo.
So let's actually swap it, right? So I'm gonna stick this new one right here into -1. The position is the same as well. So yep, it fits. And if it fits right there, if that fits, you should be able to swap these little dorsals as well. So let's do that with the Ride 0. So yep, they swap. No problem. You can swap them if you wanted to.
So there's an excuse. If you are not hot on Ride Goji, maybe you could get them just to use the custom parts to get a better version of -1. So
That's
there you
true.
go.
Yeah, you could totally part out. I will say that the connection for Ride Godzilla is way better for these smaller dorsals than it was for -1. -1 has a lot of give to it, and it doesn't look like anything's actually changed in the sculpt, but I think that because these other dorsals are just so thin, it's harder for you to push them down to get them secure in -1 right there. So, but because it's thicker and bigger, it just fits a lot easier in this guy for the Ride Godzilla. Let's look at the neck articulation. Yeah, let's pop this off and let's see what's going on under the hood. Let's start with, I think we can just pop off the head. Boy, this one's tough.
The head articulation.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't get the neck off, so I'm just gonna pop off the heads of these guys. So here is.
I know the neck for -1 was a real pain to get off. It's not easy to begin with.
Yeah. So Again, more proof that it is, for anybody that's still doubting if it's a new mold or not. This is basically the surefire way to prove it. So if you look at the back of the heads right here, let me move these guys out of the way. 1 second, I gotta adjust my headpiece. Okay. So here on the right, or sorry, this side right here, the one I'm pointing at is -1, and the one that I'm pointing at with my thumb right there is the Ride Godzilla. So you can see there's been a giant cut to accommodate that head movement now, whereas before it was just a single little joint right there on the inside, and that's the difference. So, new sculpted head. Since I have them off, let's go ahead and see how far I can get -1. Oh, you know what? Yeah, look at that. There is some, yeah, there's some differences there. So as far as -1's mouth goes, oh yeah, look at that. That's a huge difference right there. Look at that. So -1 is in my left hand right here, shaking it up and down, and then the Ride Godzilla is in my right hand. So it can definitely open up its jaw so much more. So much more.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm wondering...
No kiss.
I'm trying to see if -1 is also that same peg system for the mouth, or if it's a ball joint. So I'm taking off the jaw. Oh, am I still there? You guys hear me okay?
There we go.
Okay, there you go. I could hear myself for some reason. Okay, so -1 does not use a ball joint for the lower jaw, by the way. So it's just like the Ride Godzilla. It uses the same peg system on the inside. So that's not different. But for some reason, the Ride Godzilla definitely has way more movement. So yeah, here is... So yeah, it does have the extendable neck joint system now. So there's the extendable joint for the neck. So it is able to extend and move upwards. Really cool.
Kind of interesting how over-engineered they made it, and yet it still works pretty well.
Yeah.
Like if it works, it works.
That's the truth. Let's see here. So let me just get this all plugged back in. Okay, guys. So that was our articulation demonstration, and let's do, before we get into the articulation, let's look at the Goose. Let's look at the Goose ship.
Goose? Talk to me, Goose.
So let me get this all rigged up. We'll look at the Goose ship without the folded out parts. So let's
water form.
Yes, and that looks like as close as we're gonna get to it. Let me see if I can get the camera closer to that.
If you get the shin forms and you have the tail, just put the little boat next to it.
There we go. So and then I'm gonna bring down our brightness down a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a bit too bright to make out the details.
Yeah, so here is the Goose. I'll bring it down even more, actually.
He's a bright little dude.
So it's well detailed for what it is, right? It's a little small ship. I mean, you have to remember how big a Tamashii axe stand is, right? If I saw somebody online, and what they did was they did a black wash throughout, and that brought out a lot of details that are on this ship right here. So
I don't know
it's
if
pretty
cool.
cool.
I'm getting an echo from Robo's end.
What was that?
I'm getting Taz's voice echoing off of your end.
Yeah, I'm hearing that too. Although I'm not sure if that's popping up on the stream. That might just be on our end. If you guys hear an
It's
echo
good
on
now.
the stream, let us know.
Yeah, Godzilla Island said, "Why do I hear double?"
Okay.
Hold on one second.
All right, and then here is the ship with its hover form right here. Yeah, it's got some
Very
nice
tiny.
detail. It's very small, yeah. It's definitely very small. It fits in Godzilla's mouth just perfectly, though. So that's like a bite-sized.
Speaking of fitting in his mouth, how does this compare to the Shinden?
So the Shinden is much bigger because it's scaled to be more of the 50 meters. So the Shinden is going to be a lot bigger than these ships themselves.
Mhm.
All right, let's get this in there in that mouth.
Okay. How's that, guys? Is that better?
That's much better.
Okay.
There we go.
I had to unplug my receiver because it was about to die. So,
Ah, you're good.
and I
All
think
right,
when
we're
I
gonna-
did that, it screwed up the mic settings. So,
All right,
seems like
so
it's fixed.
it's gonna be, the ship is gonna be a little overexposed right here, but that is the ship right there in Godzilla's mouth. It works nicely. Like Josh was asking, you know, how does the ship scale with the Shinden? The Shinden is much bigger because it's scaled to be 50 meters with Godzilla, and these are more of like the 700, 1/700 scale. So it goes from 1/350 to like 1/700 or 640 or something like that. So, but the head looks good with the ship in the mouth. What do you guys think?
I think it looks great.
Eating a goose.
And then let's put the little smaller in its water form right here in the mouth. So yeah, look at that. I love that. That's great.
And with the jaw being able to open up much bigger, it could definitely fit him a lot easier.
Yeah,
That
I'm
might
wondering
be
if
what
that.
they were intending.
I was gonna say, I wonder if that's why they made that change, is to accommodate this right here. So,
Could be.
but yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna take a quick water break, really quick, and then we'll do the variance comparison, the fun part, where we get to see each figure. We're gonna bring them one at a time, and we will look at each one's different variants and what you can kind of expect getting this figure. So let me get these all lined up really quick. We've got one, I've got two here, and then three, and then number 4.
There's 5 and 6.
For anybody that's just joining us in the stream, at this point, what we're doing is like the variance comparison. We've done articulation, we've done the close-up of the sculpt. The next thing after this is going to be comparisons with other figures. So we'll compare it with the -1 and the Heat Ray -1 and the minus color figure. And then we will delve into folks' requests. So if you have any special requests for a figure that you want to see out there, start thinking about it right now if you're going to be hanging out with us for the next hour. And we'll get those figures out for you. And I lost my freaking water bottle. I don't know where I did it with it. Oh, there it is. Found it. Haha.
It was where he least expected it. Probably right next to him.
No, it was just right behind me. Waiting for that jump scare.
Yeah, it's ready to get you.
Okay, 1 second. Dutch Bros is fine. Sorry, the wife is asking Dutch Bros or not, and Mrs. Tass, yes, I want Dutch Bros.
That does sound
Like-
pretty good right now.
Like iced coffee? Yes,
Dutch Bros
please.
is fine.
Hot
Usual.
chocolate, yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, I figured. I just looked at the time. I was like, she's probably gonna be about done doing what she's doing right now. Okay. With that being said, let me. My chat has frozen for some reason on my side. It's very old. Okay.
I was looking at updates on my end.
Yeah, it's actually fine on the computer, but for some reason my little monitor over here. Okay, now we're caught up to speed. That was weird. It wasn't, but now it is.
Oh, I hear a kitty cat.
I hear a cat.
Oh yeah, she's meowing at me for attention. Sorry.
Oh, that was Taz's cat.
Oh no, my cats sound much older than that.
Oh, my cat's old. She's pushing 16.
16? Oh, sounds like a little kitten.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right, guys, let's get into our variance comparisons. All right, so let's look at the first one right here. Here's our first Godzilla. The eyes are so small. This is as close as I can get it, unfortunately, but I think that looks pretty good. For figure number one, that looks great. The teeth look good too. They're very small. They're painted very nicely. There's not a lot of slop or anything like that. And the detailing on the face, I think they nailed it. I think out of all of the minus Godzilla figures that they've done, I think that they've nailed the paint on the head with the dry brushing. It's very lightly done, but it's enough to bring out the details of the sculpt. And the tongue looks great. It's a dark red on the inside. I'm happy with this overall. You know, the coverage I think is a little bit more spotty in some areas. Like there's definitely a little bit of a heavier brush on number one right there. But for the most part, I'm digging this. And it's got the reds. The reds start not on the top of the head, but on the back of that first segment of the neck. That's where the red starts. And then it just kind of goes down along the back. But it's like a subtle red. It's like a pink red, really.
Yeah, it's a fleshy, kind of brownish red, yeah.
And it looks really good. It looks really good. Even on the dorsal side of it right here, let's just kind of refocus for a second. The dorsals, you know, it's very well done. All the crevices, it's like done very nicely, especially on the larger one, it looks the best. The smaller ones, smaller detail, it's a little bit harder to get that right, but at least on the bigger ones, I think they nailed it with where it counts the most. And then here's the other side of it.
Do the spines feel fragile at all, or are they pretty solid?
These are significantly, look at this. I'm lifting it up by the dorsal. I'm that confident that it is so good. These dorsals are bigger, they're thicker. So much better. Look at that.
A lot more sturdy.
Way more sturdy. I don't think anybody has anything to worry about when it comes to breakage, because these are very hard. They're not floppy at the top because they're not thin. Like this is a hard plastic right there at the top. It's not, no breakage. You guys got nothing to worry about, honestly. Nothing to worry about when it comes to that. So that's figure number one. Let's look at number two. I mean, they look good. The eyes look great. I wonder if they did the UV paint for this, for the eyes.
Ooh,
I wonder if they did that. I wonder if they did the UV print for these eyes, because I'm looking at them and they look really good, and they're just so. I feel like they just look different from minus ones.
Yeah. They have a lot more life in them. Like
there's more life. So, and for anybody that's wondering what we're talking about, UV print is a little bit different from the dot matrix print job. Russell knows more about that. Do you want to kind of explain to the people that are watching how UV is different from dot matrix while we look at this?
So I don't know much about dot matrix, but what I understand about of the UV printing that he's talking about, it's not like 3D printing. Although you can UV 3D print, it's different in that it's like full color printing, but you see it more in like Lego. There are some Legos that are full UV printed in full color. A lot of custom Legos.
Let's use the Nanmu. The Nanmu characters that they're doing of those dinosaurs use that UV, right?
Yeah, and I think actually they do the whole figure in that way. Mm-hmm. And it's a 3D object. Like I think they do one side of the dinosaur and then they flip it and do the other side. But the thing I've noticed with at least the T-Rex I have and the Indoraptor is that the eyes, so long as you have the alignment perfectly set up right, the eyes are like way sharper, way more detailed, and just and it doesn't involve like hand painting. It's just you set the piece up and it prints over it, and it can accommodate for curves and shapes. And I'm kind of curious if this guy is the same way. And it can, since it can do full color, white, reds, greens, that kind of thing, you can do a lot more variety, unlike decals or, you know, dot matrix, which seems to be dot matrix is not very sharp.
Yeah.
So
Dot matrix, yeah, so I think you hit the nail on the head right there, is that dot matrix isn't as sharp. Also, the reason why it's called dot matrix is because they use dots to paint the actual thing. So if you've ever seen our close-up photos of like Kong 2021, you can see those dots when you zoom in. Now from afar, you can't really see it that much, but when you have a camera with a macro lens on there, you can see every paint stroke is painted with dots versus an actual solid color. This is why I've always said that decals look so much better on these figures, but UV printing is a whole different league that we're seeing. And they just showed an example of what that UV print looks like with Godzilla 1975. It is confirmed that that figure is actually using UV print on it. So, and I'm wondering, because of these guys and how straight those eyes are looking on each, so far, just these two that we were looking at, and how the white sclera is like basically perfectly done, I'm wondering if they did the UV paint for these eyes instead of dot matrix, because dot matrix also requires them to put them in a machine and it has to be calibrated and it basically shoots paint at it, right? So it's kind of similar to UV print, but UV print's more of a 3D printing technique, if I'm not mistaken, versus it's like surface printing with like a 3D printer edge style.
ink.
Versus
Yeah,
and then dot matrix is literally like, it's like a computer generated paint job is what that is. It's a little different, you know. So,
yeah.
but anyways,
And-
before we go any more of that, let's get back to number 2, because we've had it out for a bit. I wanted to make a couple notes, is that it looks great all the way around. The top of the head definitely has a lot more yellow, that yellow mustard color on the top. So there's definitely more detailing in that aspect right there. Not detailing, but there's just more paint coverage in that. This is where you're going to see a lot of that variance, like we said, that dry brushing. Let's look at the side really quick. So you've got the sides. I think it's well painted on this one, on this side. And then let's look at the back.
And that third spine seems like it has a little more dry brushing than the first version, although it's still a little darker, but that's okay.
There's also shadow being casted on this from these two guys right here. It is a little bit darker, but there's some shadow being casted on that as well. But the coverage is really great on this one. I think it's more balanced though, as far as versus number 1. Number 2 has a little bit more balance to it. The dry brushing is nice right here as well. Looking at number 1 and number 2 separately, really quick, as far as the shoulder paint goes, number 1's is definitely more balanced. Number 2's has got a lot more robust coverage right here compared to number 1. So let's bring out number 3. So here's number 3. Number 3 is actually the one that we had, I believe, out. Yes, number 3 was the one that we had out for our initial examination. So here's number 3's.
And dissecting.
Yeah, I mean, like, it looks so good.
I think the chest has been pretty consistent, although the necks seems like there's a pretty bad drop off a little bit between the chest into the neck for the dry brushing. But you know, like when you have different pieces, different people, it's gonna happen. So
right.
And you're right, the eyes are far more consistent. They're not.
It's a little bit more balanced on the arm, like number 1 was. The details on the dorsals are a little bit darker this time around on the sides. Definitely on this piece right here, it's definitely not as much coverage. This one does look still good though. The larger ones still look good. Let's see here. And the coverage on the top of the head is pretty well done as well. A little bit of red overspray on the shoulder this time around. The other ones didn't have it. This one's got a little bit of that red overspray on this. So I'm wondering if whoever painted this one kept those pieces connected. But you got that nice red transition on the back side of it still. And then again, like I said, the top of the head right there. It's not bad. The coverage looks good right there. And I don't think I even had the head attached all the way when we took it apart. Wow, that joint is really stiff. Hold on a second, guys.
I feel like the dry brushing on top of the head for this one is a little bit lighter compared to number 2.
It is.
Yeah.
It's actually it's probably the lightest so far. Between 1, 2, 3 is definitely the lightest. So, but the eye alignment looks good on number 3. Let's look at number 4.
I also hope they keep the UV eye paint consistent for all new figures, because so far they look incredible.
Yeah, there it is again from the front. I'm not hating this, guys. I mean, the eyes look really good on this figure. We'll see what it looks like when I do the super close-ups, but I just love that we can see the white sclera.
I think the thing that some people might be like, well, they're not perfectly looking forward. And it's kind of like, well, but for whatever reason, Toho and them, they don't care. They actually sometimes prefer Godzilla to be a little off, you know? And
Yes.
Like
most people... Huh?
Like Shin.
Yeah,
Yes.
a little bit. Or 54.
Shin Godzilla has a design direction where the eyes have to look a certain way. Same thing with 54, but they are able to negotiate that, and it depends on the company, I suppose, and how much leeway they have with that.
Mhm.
So, for example, like 1954 Movie Graphic Plus, they were able to move the eyes forward for it finally.
Yeah. Which, funny enough, I got used to the side look, so seeing him looking forward kind of felt weird to me.
Yeah. Yeah, number 4's looking pretty solid. I think number 4 has actually got the most dry brushing on the side of its face compared to the rest of them.
Okay, it looks a little bit extra tan.
So, not bad. And the teeth, honestly, the teeth are so small, it's so hard to tell. But they still look sharp. Every single one that we looked at today, they all have sharp teeth. Fantastic. Love it.
Yeah, one thing I see with this is that I can actually see each individual teeth for this compared to -1, where it just looked like a denture white strip.
Yes.
Glob. The globbing is real.
Glob,
The
glob,
blob.
glob, glob.
I hate the glob.
Sometimes we like the glob.
I know, it ruins detail. But nice detail.
If the glob is done well, it's all right.
All right.
It's never done well.
Let's look at the torso now. We're going to look at the chest right here, guys. So this is number 1. Very evenly painted. There's no extra, like dry brushing or anything like that. Doesn't look like it's been smeared across or anything like that. As far as the red goes on number 1, it's there. It's very subtle. It's blended nicely. It doesn't stick out like some of the other ones that I have on display right here. This one, on camera may not look as red, but it is red. It's very subtly done though throughout. And then if we look at the claws on this, again, they're green. They're more of a green color than they are a yellow mud color, like -1's. So that is different right there.
Like a khaki green.
Yeah, so, but that's the torso right there for number 1, and the hand and arm. And then let's look at number 2. Number 2's, I think I like number 2's better. I think number 2 is very, it's done it's not like the first one had so much, but I feel like it's less, but enough to bring out certain details of the sculpt right here.
Mhm.
And I think that the red
tad bit more
pops.
vibrant.
I think the red pops a lot more on the chest and the middle section of the abdomen right here. It's not as vibrant on the lower side, but it does continue that with the legs. So far I'm thinking that this one's got the better application on the torso right there. It's still really messy on the claws. It's definitely dry brushed on the claws. There's no fading or anything. It's just like somebody took a brush and then just brushed it over. Detailing on the arm right here, it's a lot stronger on number 2's arms. not as subtle. Definitely
Yeah, the hands.
thicker applied, especially on the biceps and the, yeah, it's definitely thick. Whoever painted this one right here definitely like went to town on the arms with the dry brushing. Definitely, especially the hand. Look at that, all that extra dry brushing on the fingers right there. So that was number 2. Here is number 3. This is the one that we had throughout most of the video so far. So here is the chest of that. Number 3 is like it's a little bit of a, kind of a cross between 1 and 2, honestly. More so like 2 though. But what I do like is that number 3, the red goes all the way down. I think it's better balanced from the center of the chest. It transitions very nicely all the way down to the bottom part of the abdomen and then onto the legs. So I think this one's got the best transition so far. That's more balanced, I should say.
I think the only thing is this one seems like the little floating ring is a little more, stands out a little bit more differently compared to the others.
Yeah, so the floating ring, yeah, so if you look at the side of it right here on the floating ring, definitely compared to the others, the other two blended very nicely. This one's definitely got a brighter ring on it though.
Yeah, it's a little bit
slight
different.
off tone.
Yes, especially towards the back side of it right there. Yeah. So, but that's number 3.
Into silver.
Here's number 4. Number 4 definitely has the lightest dry brushing out of all of them. It's the lightest, especially on the chest. It's still quite balanced. It's quite balanced, though. It's still quite balanced with the transition. Even though it's the lightest, it works for what it is. And this just goes to show you that when we get these variance comparisons right here, you know, sometimes it may not be the most robust, but it's still balanced at the end of the day. And the arms look great on this one too. It's not over compared to the other ones. The dry brushing is, you know, parts of it are still thicker, like this part right here, but this is, I think it's a better balance. And let's look at the other one. Yeah. So your mileage is going to vary on the arm paint with the dry brushing. You don't know what you're going to get. And on the sides, you know, let's look at the side ring. It's more balanced. It doesn't have that washed out look like that number 3 one. So number 3's ring, for some reason, just appeared to be brighter. This one's got a little bit more red on this right here. It's not washed out. It's just a lot of red on the side. So let's look at the legs now. So we're going to go back to 1 and we're going to look at the, let me wipe this down here really quick. And then let's look at the legs and feet. Just tilt this downward. All right. So maybe a little bit higher, right? Yeah, let's do that. That looks good. So yeah, as far as the dry brushed paint coverage, number 1, it's very minimal compared to the rest of them. Some of them have way more caked on paint. I would say that number 1's got the least amount of red compared to the rest of them, especially on the inner thigh right here. It just seems like somebody just went doop, doop, and they called it good. There's more on the knee right here, way more on the knee. And then, of course, we have the feet transitions as well. And the feet are a whole different color. I should say that they're more of like this brown color, this yellow color, I should say. But they're brighter because of how they did those feet right there. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it's just a stylistic choice that they did with this particular character. The feet are definitely brighter in color.
We haven't had a lot of references for the Great Clash Goji, have we? There's not a lot of like reference photos and pictures yet of them, is there?
Yeah. Not too many.
Yeah, it's mainly just promo stuff.
A little bit of extra paint towards this thigh piece right here. It looks like somebody might have just accidentally put a little too much in that one spot right there. Lightly done with the red right there, but for the most part, it's very light on the legs. I'll put it that way. The feet look great though. The feet coverage looks really fantastic on this one. So, but that's number, oh yeah, back here too, yeah. Look at that, in that spot there. So this is definitely intentional to have this spot. It's probably gonna be like that on the others too. So that was number 1. Let's look at number 2. So you can see number 2's has so much more of that red so much more. And that's going to be up to you, whether you decide that you like this more or not. The other ones, they had just like a little dollop right here, and this has got more coverage. Let's look at the knee coverage. Look at that. It's better. I think overall, the red is more consistently done on this one. It's definitely thicker applied though, but it's more, what do you say? I could just see it more, you know, it's more bold in coloration.
Yes.
And I actually like the feet on number, you know, I don't know how I feel about this. So number 2's feet, they're painted so much brighter than number 1's. And I'll bring them both in here so you guys can see them at the same time. But number 1 and number 2, look at the difference in the coloration.
Is it just that one foot, or is the other foot also?
It's both. It's the same as, they're both the same. So this one's more, it's more, I would say like this one has more of like an airbrushed look, right? So that this guy right here has more of an airbrushed look, whereas this one's just thickly applied. Like they just went really hard with that dry brushing right there. But you know what? It just depends on your preference, I guess, which one you prefer the most. Do you want the more balanced airbrush look, or do you want the more colorful? And because there's more red paint on this leg than this leg right here for this other one, I think this works okay with this. Yeah, I think it works okay for this, what we see right here. And then like, even if I flip it to the other foot, so you guys can see it.
Kind of funny how they just put just little splotches of the red. Just not like smooth. They're just like a little circle here, little circle there. That's kind of the end of it.
So, but as far as number 2's other leg goes, you know, it's still got some decent amount of red that's been added onto it right there. So, for more bold red coloration, definitely number 2 has that over number 1. Let's look at number 3.
Back of his calves look very naked.
What's that?
The back of his calves look very naked.
Oh boy. Oh, on number 2?
On a 1 as well, like there's just like next to no dry brushing applied.
Yeah, let me look at the back of them really quick. It is consistent for every single one. The backs of those legs have no dry brushed paint on them. So that is a consistent thing on all of these. None of them have any of the dry brushing. It's actually a darker shading effect that they have instead. So there's a conscious decision to add shading right here.
Yeah, because like they got the rest of the body pretty much spot on, but like that one little area, they're just like, we don't care.
Yeah, and because it's, I don't think so. I think this is intentional. Because it is a darker shading. Like there's an actual darker shade of green that's been painted here, and it's blended very nicely, and it's like that on every single one of them.
Okay.
Huh.
So I think this is
I
think it's an intentional design choice on the back side of it, because it's also like that. It's consistent with this too. Yeah. I think that's a design choice right there. So one second, I lost the dorsal when I pulled it out earlier. Okay. So, and then as far as number 3's go, number 3, looking at number 2, number 2's has still got the thickest applied with the red. It's definitely got like a splotch of red right here. This is kind of like, number 3 is like the number 1, but with bolder paint with the red.
I could think of little random red splotches is like battle damage from Godzilla than that actual skin detail.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, it doesn't really have it on the sides like the other ones.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit at the top and on the knee, but not, well, it's got, okay.
And then here's the bottom, I forgot the bottom of the knee. So yeah, here's the bottom of the knee right there. It's definitely present there. And then, let's see here. Definitely present right there. I like always at the bottom of the feet. We never look at that too much, but they are painted on the bottom of the feet with the dry brushed effect too.
Question. Well, we'll get there. I was going to ask about the copyright since I thought about the bottom of the feet, but
it's somewhere on one of the tail pieces.
It's on the base of the tail.
But
if it's like
one,
-1.
But on this one, they may have removed it completely since this comes with the base and the copyright info is on the base. So it may not have it on the figure at all.
I think they did that for 70th anniversary Burning, because he doesn't have it on the bottom of his foot.
Yes. Yeah, they'll do that if they have accessories like that. Sometimes they'll put the copyright on the accessory. It's interesting because they also treat the Gotengo as a separate character, so it has its own copyright too.
Interesting.
Okay, so here is number 4. Number 4 is, I would say number 4 is the prettier version of number 2. It's definitely robust with its red paint application, but it doesn't feel like it's very thickly applied. But it's still bold, and I think out of all of them, I think number 4 may have the most balanced when it comes to the red, where it's not too offensive, but it's there. Especially right here, it looks nicely done. You get the blend of those other colors. Let's see the bottom.
And the feet definitely don't stand out as much.
There you go. Yeah, the feet are more of a balanced take. Number 2's got like the most when it comes to that dry brushed effect. Yeah. Number 3's following that, and then I would say that this one is more balanced of everything, and then number 1's like more of like an airbrushed look over it. So, but that is number 4.
I kind of dig number 2. I like the bold and vibrant colors.
You may have to fight Robo Lizard for that. He laughs now, but secretly, there's going to be some fighting behind the scenes. I can already tell.
Oh no, I kind of like number 4, but mainly for the chest.
1 second, guys.
If he likes his brightly colored feet.
Okay, so last thing that we're going to look at here is the tail for these guys. So here is the tail. We've got, I mean, it's great. They've got the blending that they needed to do for the blending. It's a little bit more bold and jarring right here where it's more balanced and smaller, but that just might be because the detailing is so much bigger compared to these other segments right there, you know? Like the textured detail is
bumps and scutes.
Yeah, it's more robust and where it's significantly scaled down on the sides of the tail right there. So, but that's what it looks like. It's painted all the way to the tip and everything. Even on the bottom. Let's see if the bottom, did they do the bottom?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yes.
What does the bottom look like?
The bottom is also got the dry brushing all the way through, and I think that's something that didn't happen with the Heat Ray version. The Heat Ray version of -1 did not have the bottom of it painted. So this is looking like
Heat Rays?
I'll bring them both out. We'll compare them, but I'm pretty sure that it is for both of them. They did not paint with the dry brushed effect underneath. So, and then just from the front side right there, let me screw that right there so we can just get that view. You can see a lot of that red down the center right there. And that red continues all the way about Rain Baby right here, this segment. About right here. And then it kind of transitions slowly back into the yellowish kind of color. But the middle spines still kind of have a little bit of that red to them.
Yeah, you can kind of see it on the tips.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but that's number 1 right there. Let's look at... Yeah, let's look at... I don't know if we looked at this side, actually. So let's kind of go through that really quick. Yeah, so that's number 1's. Let's look at number 2's tail. Okay, so number 2's tail. The blending with the red, very nicely done all the way throughout. It's definitely lighter applied, and number 2's tail is, because it's lightly applied, I feel like it's more balanced right here than the other one.
Yeah,
we saw it for number 1.
Transition.
The transition is
I feel like
better balanced.
First 3 segments are not as glossy compared to number 1.
And then here is that front view. So you guys can see that red. Working our way down. And then we look at this side. Definitely a little bit heavier on the other side, though. It's definitely heavier on that side.
Mm.
And yeah. And then underneath it, still painted all the way through. So that was number 2.
Well, the bottom seems like it has a little less.
I got to fix number 3's tail because that's still curved from when we were doing that earlier. So give me 1 second. Let me fix that tail. Okay, there we go. So here is number 3's tail. Number 3, it's still balanced right here on the side. Could this one be the best tail yet? It's not bad. Let's look down the front right there.
It's interesting because I noticed on all of them, there's a section in the middle, kind of closer to the end, that is slightly more dry brushed compared to the others.
I kind of noticed that as well.
Yeah. And mainly just near the spines, not near the midsection, or like the actual
Right.
flesh part. It's kind of interesting.
And then
It's consistent. It's consistently inconsistent.
All right. I'd say between all the tails, it's a toss-up between number 2 and number 3 for me.
Or consistent dry brushing.
Yeah, with the consistent dry brushing, it's a toss-up between those two because there's elements that look good on both of them, and then there's elements that also a little bit too much on both of them. So, all right, let's look at number 4. Number 4, again, not so bold. So that's kind of consistent. It seems like only one of them had a lot of brushing on the right side of the tail right there. And then
Yeah,
it
but
kind
there
of
is that little.
continues.
There is a section just kind of near the base, which has like none.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
that.
Which
And
side
that's
is
the
it?
one section.
Which side? Right here?
Well, there's like one section on the tail, closer to the end, that has just a little extra dry brush, for whatever reason. It's like maybe the 5th or 6th from the end of the tail section, or maybe this is. Yeah, 7.
Are you talking about this middle one right here that doesn't have that much on there?
Or has more.
This part right here.
Next one over.
This one?
Yeah, that one has more dry brush, and it's been consistent with all the others.
Consistently inconsistent.
Yeah. For whatever reason, they just dry brush that one more than the rest.
So I would say comparing all of each of them on the back side, that number 4 actually has the least amount of red in between everything. Yeah, the other ones had a lot more red in the middle of them, but on this one it's more of that green coloration. So the fins themselves still have the red, it's just that the red overspray doesn't seem to be as strong in the middle of that area right there. And then let's look at this other side here. Yeah, honestly, it's a bit of a toss-up between all of them, except for the first one. The first tail, I'm not too big of a fan of, but the other 3, I could go with any of them, honestly. Okay. So that was our variance comparison, everybody. The ships, they're pretty much the same. I'm not even going to bother bringing them out. They're all white. Every single one. There's no changes between them.
But one might be slightly more white than the others.
Oh, don't say that. Dang it, now I'll have to bring it out.
Totally not trying to play into your OCD.
So I'm going to do this just so that we can just say that we did it. And we touched it on all of them here. Thanks, Robo Lizard.
Just for completionist sake.
The completionist in me
I don't feel like a bully.
is an evil thing. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put all 4 boats there. We won't be able to get too close to them because I don't have the right lens.
Well, the things are
For that.
almost the size of a grain of rice. They're not very big at all.
They're definitely the same size of the heaves, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're tiny little beans.
About the size of a dime.
Alright, so, and I'll turn down the brightness here in just a second. Let's bring that down to 500 ISO. There we go. There you go. So
yeah,
there's
that
the
one's
ships.
brightness 5% wider.
And then here are the ships right here. So, but yeah, they look they're white. They're all the same,
Yeah.
as they say, right?
I think there's
All
probably
right.
more variance in the flash or the little, mold lines than the paint.
Yep.
All right. So, okay. So now we're gonna bring out it's comparison time. So let's bring out. We're gonna bring out -1, the reissue first, and then we'll bring out the minus color, and then we'll bring out the Heat Ray version and the event exclusive, so we can be quite thorough.
It's like the Shin Godzilla lineup all over again.
Almost. Only half as bad, right? Only half as bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just wait until -0 comes out.
All right. So with that being said, let's start. Let me get minus. Oh, this is -1 color. Oh, that's right. I have it in a different display. Hold on a second. I just realized I have it in a separate display.
The minus color is the one that I think probably looks the best out of all of the -1 stuff.
Oh, I should reiterate to our audience that's watching, if you are interested in picking up one of these figures, one of these guys has not been claimed. It's still available. You can hit me up on Instagram or any other apps that you use. If they have a private messaging function, you can hit me up for that. They are offered at a slightly discounted rate. If you are interested in them, I do have one extra available still. So with that being said, we're going to put -1 on the, this is the -1 reissue compared to Ride Godzilla, which is on the right. So here's what they look like. Do a little side view like that, a little angled view. So that's what those guys look like there. Let me bring up the table a little bit actually for this. There we go. So looking at the front,
I think just as a heads up, I think the spine on your -1 there might be a little bent or broken.
Yeah, it looks
What?
a bit crooked.
mine, it's just bent.
Yeah.
It's fine.
okay.
It's not broken. It's just a little bent on that. Just needs a little heat, but it's not broken. So yeah, let's take a closer look. So, you know what? I'm gonna bring the table back down after all.
Quick
Bring
question.
these closer. Go for it.
When it comes to the painting process for just any figures in general for Monster Arts, do they paint each individual piece and then assemble a figure, or do they put all the pieces together and then briefly dry brush over the entire figure so most of the pieces look somewhat consistent?
I think it's a little bit of back and forth. I think that the figure is painted as a base paint first, and then it's dry brushed after that, and then they assemble it, and then they do touch-ups after the fact. So if there's any parts that are missing, they'll touch it up after the fact. But generally speaking, every piece is painted individually. So that means a leg is painted, a part of the leg is painted. There's been some cases where in the past they totally painted over it, and they painted, like for example, Mothra Special Color version. That is definitely a case where it was painted orange, just like the original, and then they painted over it while it was assembled. So when you go to move the abdomen, you can see the original paint job under it, and that's why people kind of scorned that one a little bit. So
probably it depends on the cost. You know, how much does paying to get touch-ups done? You know, is it worth it? Don't know.
So here is, so let's look at this together. So here's -1 reissue. You can see how that paint job right there is so much more thick on the chest right there, how much more of a muddy tan color it is. And when you look at the Ride Godzilla, it's more evenly applied. You know, it's not like you can see all the details in the inside of it right there. And the reissue already made an improvement over the original. The original, it was just slathered on. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Let me zoom out right there so you guys can see those. Which one's mine?
No.
There we go. 1 second.
No. Looks like Taz is getting a little treat there.
Yeah. What'd you say?
You're getting a treat?
Yeah. My wife is telling me that we should do a sponsored thing so we get free Dutch Brothers.
Care package has arrived.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this
That was refreshing.
articulation series brought to you by the Dutch Brothers
You buy okay?
And Hobby Genki.
and Hobby Genki.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay. So back to these guys right here. You're looking at the base color paint. I'm looking at them between the reissue and Ride Godzilla. They honestly look the same base paint. It did look darker initially on Ride Godzilla, but they kind of look the same, honestly.
Which, for my plans to do some part swapping, is a good thing.
Yeah, so the base color, I know with the Heat Ray version, it is a darker color, but between the reissue, at least, it's the same base color paint. What is different, obviously, is the different, the reds of the Ride Godzilla right there. You know what's interesting too is that the brow paint on the head is, I think they did a better job with that compared to the original. So the original, of course, the original is supposed to have a scar kind of effect to it.
Yeah.
So you've got, that awkward eyebrow that's just got that scar right there. And of course, that's not present on the Ride Godzilla. The Ride Godzilla doesn't have that, and it just looks so cool.
Two things that stand out to me the most is the mouth paint and as well as the eyes.
Yeah. And to be clear for everybody that's watching, the reissue does not have any white in its eyes. It's just that this is that dot matrix paint job that they use.
It's just brown. I think they can't do really bright colors with the dot matrix. Outside of maybe Final Wars, which was orange, right? Yeah, I can't. All of them tend to be kind of muddy.
Yeah.
Final Wars, you talking about the regular one or the reissue?
I think they're both dot matrix. Only the recent one is decals, I believe.
Yeah. So here is the side profile of these guys right here. Now, my -1 reissue has a lot of heavy-handed dry brushing on the side right there. This is way more balanced. It even gets really glossy looking at some points of that. The dorsal alignment completely changed because of the different sizes and stuff. This is so much thinner on this one, and this one not so much. This is so much thicker by comparison. This is really hard and sturdy. So you got nothing to worry about that when it comes to durability on the sides. Like, I'm confident that we probably won't get like hardly any reports of breakages on this because there's no parts of this that are thin. It's a hard plastic all the way throughout. Let's look at the toes. Or the claws first. Let's look at the claws. So the claws for -1, you see that's kind of the thing I was talking about. They're more of that tan color, and it's just like been completely painted over. There's like no room for dry brushed detailing, and the the Ride version of it, it's It's definitely more not subdued, but lightly dry brushed throughout. So, and I think one of the bigger differences too is that the top of the hand, yes. So the top of the hand for -1 doesn't have a lot of dry brushing, and the top of the hand for the Ride Godzilla does. It is the same sculpt though, same sculpting for both hands. They're not different or anything like that, not a new mold or anything. So it's the same.
It would have been kind of neat if they did like a closed fist, like just because, just to have it. But you know, that's wish listing.
Yeah.
Or like the splayed out clawed hands like the Godzilla Evolved has. Those would be nice.
Yeah.
Let's look at the feet between these guys. So there's the feet. This is number 1, by the way, that we have out. That was the Ride Godzilla. So this one's got the more subtle feet. Let me bring out a different one though, like number 2, just for a huge difference in that paint of the feet right there. So it is a different color. It is a different color. You know what's funny?
The other ones.
You know what's funny now I'm looking at this? I'm wondering if the feet of -1s would actually look better with the Ride. Because of how red it is, and then how much more of a tan color, brown muddy color it is on that. And then this one, it's just more or less like the same color as the rest of the sculpt, right? So that's interesting. I wonder, you could mix and match if you really wanted to, right? You could try it out.
Yeah, a little bit of bashing.
Are the mold lines a little nicer on Ride Goatie's toes? Because that was one thing I noticed with -1 that was a little annoying, but not a deal breaker.
I think that they're still there. It's not any different, but I think that they've brushed over them to hide them a little bit.
Okay.
So I think that's what they've done. Because on -1, not so many. It's not painted on the toes as much. You know, it's lightly painted, but there's way more. There's significantly more on the Ride Godzilla. Let's look at the dorsals now. So, let's see here. So here is a good example of our dorsals differences right there.
Sorry, I just saw the tail and I was just like, there's just nothing. It's a barren wasteland. There's no paint.
Yeah, and we'll get to the tail in just a second. But yeah, so, you know, it's different. One's more of the red and the other one isn't. So, and then different design, right? I still like this though. I like this better. I just think it's better suited for this character. This is cool. Don't get me wrong. It's cool. -1's cool. It's cool. But I just like this. I just feel like this one just fits the Heisei look better. That's all. That's all I'm saying. It's a preference thing. And then let's look at the tail.
It's like a Top Gear meme. It's like, this one's good, but I like this.
Yeah. Obviously, huge difference in the tail, right? When it comes to the paint coverage, look at that. It's just like, we're just looking at the dry brushing between the two of them, but it's day and night. You know, one doesn't have any dry brushing, the other does. So, major difference right there.
That was the one thing with my custom that I was like, I need to add something to this tail.
Yeah.
It needs color.
It needs
something.
So I'm looking, so get this, I'm looking at this right here, between -1, and it looks like, I'm seeing if they did any sculpt changes beyond just the center row. Give me 1 second here while we look at this and kind of analyze this together.
Like little skewed staff flank either side.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the side pieces. So the side pieces have not changed. They're the same. Yeah, so all the side little scutes right here, they're all the same. All the way through the sides. It's only the center row that's been completely changed. And get this, if you want to upgrade your -1 and you want to steal the tail from this guy, which is better painted, if you wanted to, you could do a little surgery, because all of these middle dorsals right here are the same exact plugs as the dorsals on the Ride Godzilla right there. They're the same plugs. So if you wanted to, you could heat these up at the base and you can pull these out and you can swap the dorsals between these things, and then you can use the tail from the Ride Godzilla and put it on your -1. And then switch the dorsals. So there, if you really wanted to go that far, if you really wanted the better painted tail, you could do that. 100%. It's 100% doable.
And if you're willing to paint, just pop the tail off and put the other one on and paint it.
Yeah. And looking at this, there does seem to be, how about that? There is one dorsal on the Ride Godzilla that didn't get changed in the center. That's the same. Do you guys see it? Let me zoom in.
Yep.
Oh, you're right.
I see it.
Yeah.
So it's this dorsal right here is the same dorsal as -1. So this is the only one that didn't get changed. This is the only one. All of
Oh,
the
wait,
rest...
hold on. The side spurs are different.
For which one?
Or the base of the tail on the sides. They've got these very sharp...
Yes. So this one right here has this. This is not present on...
No.
Yes. So...
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is also different from between -1. Let me get the focus on that. So... Let me use my tweezers to point this out, actually. What did I do with this?
Yeah, because those are separate pieces, I think.
What did I do with that? Yeah, so, and those pieces, are they mounted? So this is still glued in, by the way, this piece right here. Try playing with this finger. So this piece right here is glued in. And this one has just been sealed now, where that one would go. Normally it would go right there, but they've just sealed it over. So this actually might be a new molded piece then. Or they just sealed it. It's the same piece and they just sealed it.
See, your little dot of glue or super glue or something. GB Weld, I don't know.
I'm not seeing anything like that though. It does look like it's been painted over. If they did have it like that, it's been painted over either way. But yeah, so that's some interesting things to point out. So same dorsal in the middle, but then this little flared piece right here is also missing from this one, right? And that actually made it so that this tail can move a lot better now that that piece has been removed, because this piece touches this segment right here. If you're trying to go upwards, it stops it completely. So very cool. Very interesting notes right there. So, but that's our comparison between -1 Reissue and the Ride. Let's do minus color. We'll just go by kind of release order right here. So let's bring out minus color. Whew, -1 has got very prickly.
Yeah.
If you think
Well, the only reason...
0.
So this is -1 minus color right here that we're bringing out. I had mine kind of pre-posed, so let me fix that so it's more of a neutral pose. Okay. So, there we go. So, I think the differences are going to be quite obvious with this, right? You got black and white versus a color version of it. So we've already discussed what's already different between the two. So this is just more of just like a showcase between the differences of these guys. So let's zoom in. Minus color, you know, it's a grayscale version of -1. Let's zoom in a little. Actually, let's bring these guys a little bit closer. Yeah, so -1. Eyes look great on -1 color. And then you got this bozo right here. So color pattern on the front of that, it's a little bit kind of messy on my copy for minus color, but it's not too bad. Specifically just a little messy right here on this piece right here. So, but as far as coverage goes, you know, the nails, they're painted all the way white, so they're quite consistent still.
Lighting one makes it look like it's like a bluish silver.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's what we call they call monochrome versus actual black and white. And they use that in the solicitation. It's monochrome.
Yeah, it's like how Shin orthochromatic is different from black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different approach to a black and white image.
It's like I think it's supposed to like emulate that celluloid kind of look.
Mm-hmm. Where they had, but it's kind of funny because film uses silver for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So there you go. Silver screen, right? Haha. Kind of curious if the teeth on mine is color because mine looked sharper. Just because it wasn't globbed on.
So yeah, so this is I think the differences are kind of expected here, between them. Minus Color did paint the tail with the dry brushing. It's not all the way through the side. They did paint the top side of it, but not the center part of the tail.
It looks like they did the bottom of it.
And the bottom of it had some, but not a lot. It was very minimal.
Mm.
And then it just kind of stops. After this segment right here, there's no more.
They did one little streak and that was about it.
That was basically it. So, but that, and then we'll look at the back side of them. And then we'll do a close-up between the front and we'll work our way down. So, -1, 0 color, it's just as you expected it to look. I think I got a pretty good copy of this one too.
It also feels more flat.
You mean like a matte paint
glossy
job?
Yeah, flat matte, yeah.
Yeah. It's very matte on this guy too. There's no glossy paint on this. There are parts of the original -1 that were a little bit glossy, but this has got a nice matte finish to it as well.
Yeah, my reissue has glossy parts that kind of make it feel a little cheap.
Yeah. All right, let me get out our Heat Ray version. So this is the Tamashii Nation Heat Ray version.
Japanese exclusive.
Yeah, so this one, I gotta make sure I'm grabbing the right one here. Yes, I believe that this is the Heat Ray version. You can tell by looking at the teeth.
Yeah, because isn't the 2024 version's teeth a lot more blue, while the event exclusive has a bit more white?
Yes, exactly. Okay, so this is the Tamashii Nation 2023 -1 Godzilla Heat Ray version. So that's what those guys look like. Now, it is a little darker on the Heat Ray version's base coloration.
That's kind of a common thing with in painting. If you want something to look brighter, you need to kind of anything that's supposed to be dark needs to be a little darker, so that brighter things look brighter. Adds contrast.
So here
Yeah,
is
kind of like what they did with GMK.
Yeah. So there's the head. It's got the blue glowing eyes. So this has got a little the blue mouth mostly, with a little bit of the white on the teeth. The coloration is darker, by the way, of this. It's more of a muddier brown versus the other one, the Reissue, being a lighter tan color. The feet are the same
Quick
color,
little-
though.
Quick little side question, but -1's eyes never glowed in the movie, did they?
It's just the poster, I believe.
Gotcha.
Feels like the dry brushing for this one. Well, no. And then it turn and look at the other one, and the dry brushing from Ride Goji is more consistent and less splotchy.
Not as heavy-handed.
Well, maybe more it is heavy-handed, that it's kind of been more evenly applied over everything rather than one spot and then they stopped.
Yeah, because looking at the shoulders and like the side of the neck, it's definitely a lot more vacant on -1 than it is Ride.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that with the event exclusive, they definitely fixed a little bit more of the dry brushing compared to the Tamashii Nation Heat Ray version. And they also did a lot of different things between the event exclusives, glow effect on the back as well.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at these guys from more of like an angle kind of thing. So yeah, but that's Heat Ray version and Ride Godzilla.
I'm curious if they ever do a charging variant for this guy at some point.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Because they've clearly got the spines can be swapped out, so it's kind of like just make a new set for them sticking out. Maybe.
Plus the spines gotta be glued in to begin with, so just make the connection points just a little bit bigger, maybe a slight tweaking, and boom, charging version.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then last but not least is the event exclusive, which I picked up and put somewhere, and now I don't know where I put it. Oh, here it is, hiding from me. There it is.
Is it like
So this is the event exclusive, which is the teeth are just like solid white all the way through. So the paint application on this one, it's a little bit more heavy-handed with the dry brushing, especially in the center towards the chest area right there.
that's probably the worst out of the bunch?
It's just very like they took their thumb and they did this. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's so. Let's look at a closer look. Yeah.
They didn't dry brush it; they finger brushed it.
It does have more dry brushing on it. Don't let the middle fool you. It does have significantly more dry brushing compared to the Tamashii Nation Heat Ray version. So
it does, and it's more subtle. It's actually more consistent with Ride. It's just not a brighter color. Interesting. Interesting.
Intriguing.
And then we'll look at the front of it closer though. So here is, just a second, let me move these over a little bit. So here is the Ride Godzilla from the front. Or sorry, the event exclusive from the front.
His face looks overly shiny, somewhat.
And then when you compare to that to our Ride Godzilla, the Ride Godzilla, it's the best. It really is. It's the better of all of them. If you just took -1's overall silhouette, it really is the best painted out of all of them.
Yeah. It's more consistent, even if there's a few little hiccups compared to the other versions. It's just, it kind of blows them out of the water a little bit.
Let's look at the side of the tail. So for the event exclusive, the dry brushing, it's not really there so much. The side of the tail. It's got the glow
The-
instead, but it's
Yeah,
very subtly done. Like, it's there. It's just very subtle by comparison. So if I zoom in, you can kind of see it.
The white overspray kind of makes it hard to see.
It makes it hard to see
Yeah.
because that white overspray is also on the bottom of it as well. But the whole figure is casted in translucent material. So there's that to kind of keep in mind. So there we have it. That's those are our comparisons right there between events. I'll line these guys up like this. Let's take a look one last time. So here's the event exclusive of -1 compared to Ride Godzilla. Yeah.
Can you close Ride Godzilla's mouth real quick?
Yeah.
Because you mentioned earlier how you couldn't close the normal, and I know that the event exclusive and probably the other one, it's kind of hard because it's that stiffer, clear plastic. Did it pop out again?
Yeah. Well, this is number. Is this number 3? No, this is number 1. So yeah, I popped it out when I went to go close that 1 second though.
Like if the inner workings for the jaw are basically the same, it's kind of curious how one's able to close more than the other.
Yeah, they're. I think it's because of the cut on the inside of the mouth.
It's a bit deeper, so it allows more room.
Yes. So here's the cut. So yeah. So the difference between them, the reason why this doesn't close, the teeth are touching each other on the teeth right there, whereas the teeth on this one, they actually, believe it or not, the bottom row teeth actually go, so the top of the jaw's teeth go inside the mouth, whereas the bottom of the teeth go over the top teeth. If that makes sense. So let me zoom in.
I mean, as long as it works.
Yeah. So when I go to close this mouth right here, this mouth won't close because the teeth are actually touching each other, both the top row and the bottom row. So that's why it doesn't close. But with Ride Godzilla, the top teeth kind of go on the inside so that the bottom row teeth kind of go over those teeth, but not all the way. You can still see both rows, but because of that, I think the teeth are molded differently. I think that's something that they compensated for with this release. I think that's the reason why, one of the reasons why this mouth can close all the way is because the teeth maybe have been redone.
The rear fang on the -1 is longer and it tends to get in the way. Because he's got that one fang in the back of his mouth that is just way longer.
Precisely. So I think that is the other issue.
Yeah.
Okay. So interesting finds all around. All right, guys. So
Oh, yeah.
now we're at the fun part. Fun part is we can, where are we at stream time wise, actually? Let's see how far we are. We've been streaming. We've been streaming for 2 hours and 55 minutes. That's about the right amount of time. So usually around the 3-hour mark is when we get to the comparisons. And so since we already compared those guys, I don't want to spend too much time with other comparisons. So chat, let's look at what you guys have to say and let's do some comparisons with these guys. So I am taking requests and we'll start with our co-hosts. The co-hosts, each of you guys get to pick one that you want me to bring out. So what's it gonna be?
Oh, you know what I'm gonna ask for.
You have to say it. You have to say it.
Bring out the little devil.
All right. We'll bring out
clean off.
You want his head? I don't know if Toho would approve that message.
Ryan can open his mouth wider. It's perfect, like clockwork.
1 second here. Okay, here's our first comparison, and it is Suko with The Ride Godzilla. And they're best friends.
Love it. Don't talk to me and my son ever again.
Does anybody have a peanut?
Peanuts, please?
What about a peanut?
Does anybody have a peanut? There he is, yep.
Beautiful.
It's like Suko's like proud of this. He's like, look, this is how you do -1 Godzilla, but do it in the ride format. Here he is.
See, I was thinking he was like a car salesman. This puppy's got a better paint scheme than the previous.
There you go.
Did you see the see here? This new model is better in every way, shape, and form.
Okay,
Yeah.
what would you like to see, Russell?
Oh, I'm trying to. I'm gonna be nice. I can't think of one.
Oh,
Pass. I'll pass. I'll pass for now.
pass for now. Okay, all right, let's look to the chat.
pass for
Chat,
now.
what do you guys want? What do you want to see?
Kaijumi said 1991 King Ghidorah, but didn't specify if one of the base or a special
Yeah.
color.
Specify if there is, so for chat to understand, if you want to see a specific one, make sure you do list if it's a poster color version or if it's some other version, because I have them all. So 91 is not, we need more information, basically.
Me Master wants MonsterVerse Mechagodzilla, the final battle version, and Kaijumi specifies special color version 91.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if I have Mechagodzilla out right now. I think I might have him boxed up for a project. Let me see.
Yeah, you've had the 2025 stuff all boxed up for a while.
Let me see. I'm moving things around to get to it.
Oh, I think I've got one now. Well, I'll wait. I'll say it later, but
Yeah, I don't have, at the moment, I currently don't have the final battle version out, but I do have the original, so I'll bring out that one for now.
probably the closest you'll get to the Great Clash for now.
Yeah. So, here is Mechagodzilla. I had him posed with Kong over on his back, so he's gonna, he's gonna have a little bit of a unique pose to him right now. All right, let me get these guys a little bit further back. There you go. So yeah, there's Mechagodzilla 2021. This is not the final battle version. Yeah, this is not the final battle version. This is the original.
This is the Temu version.
Yeah.
No, the Temu version is way worse.
Nah, of course.
So yeah, infinitely bigger, 7.5-inch tall figure.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, I didn't realize how big he is.
What's another request we got?
Special color 91 Ghidorah.
Special color 91.
And then
Coming
after
right
that,
up.
we got Mechagodzilla poster version.
Oh, that's a good one. I love Mechagodzilla. I love bringing that one out. That one's always a good one. I don't usually bring Special King Ghidorah out. Not a lot of requests for the 1991 special color version. So I am
See,
happy
that
to
one's
bring
my
this one
favorite.
out. I like it when the chat
Honestly,
shakes things up.
And honestly, I feel like 91 Ghidorah deserves a reissue at some point, or like a new decisive battle version. Because when did that one come out? Like 2017?
2012.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was one of
sorry. The base
special
sculpt
color.
is sorry. The base color. I think it's 2015 actually.
Yeah, because I had graduated college.
All right. So here is our special color King Ghidorah, 1991. I really hate the color on this thing. If I wasn't
See,
a
I
person that
love-
collected all of them, I would skip this one entirely.
No, see, I had to buy that one. I hated the pale gold.
So
I did not like the pale gold.
it looks better on. Admittedly, it looks a little bit better on camera than it does in person, but I'm just not a fan of this kind of gold. So, but yeah, there's... Yeah, it's very shiny.
It's okay. Some of us are not, you know, some of us don't have taste. It's okay.
Wow. So, yeah, there it is. I honestly wouldn't mind a 2.0 version of this figure, because this figure had some, not this particular one, but the original King Ghidorah had some problems with its, you know, manufacturing and everything, and they just did a quiet fix over them. They didn't change any of the parts other than the box to kind of signal it to it, and that was for the US distribution. So, but yeah, look at those guys together. All right, who else? Who else we got on the docket here? We'll do like
Poster
5 more.
Mechagodzilla, Poster Mechagodzilla,
Oh, Poster
and
Mechagodzilla. All right, give me one second.
And
Poster-
Night Combat Shin.
Poster Mechagodzilla.
And then I have one as well that I think would be kind of neat.
All right, we're gonna bring out Poster Mechagodzilla.
The badass.
The one that got away.
There he is, Poster Mechagodzilla.
He's a little small to be a Mechagodzilla.
Well, he's a little bit crouched, so it doesn't help his
I
case
know.
there.
Yeah,
It's a short
those
king.
legs are crouched. Yeah, this figure, yeah, I kind of had him posed it in the cabinet right there, but if you wanted to see those legs, you know, fully stretched out, it's got its ratchet joints, which I know some people are like, oh, that's so satisfying. To me, I hate it. I hate it so much.
We know you're secretly a big Transformers fan. Come on, man.
But what is really cool about this figure is that the wheels actually move on the legs, so that's neat. So yeah, even though that one is crunched, oh yeah, look at that. That did crunch over, didn't it? Stupid ratchet joints. And now that
Not
piece
that
is
sturdy,
falling
are
off.
they?
Yeah, this figure's this is a fun figure. Not so much to pose and everything, but it is fun to mess around with every now and again. The only thing I don't like is that some pieces are like floating parts. 1 second. I had a piece that fell off.
It's all good.
I guess it's a little
Master,
foot.
which one of the keys did you want to see?
Yeah, I think that the cabinet has been a little too hot, so that piece has gotten a little warped on there. I'm gonna have to fix that later. But yeah, that's it standing. That's it standing up straight. So it is definitely taller if you have it standing up straight. Yeah, which Kiryu do we want to see?
You got your standard, final battle, and heavy arms. Or Soul Chigoken.
Yes, we do have that one.
Soon metal build.
Which one?
Oh,
Which
I
one
can't
did
wait
you
for
say,
that battle
Russell?
build.
Did you want to see?
Yeah. Do you have Hedorah?
Yeah, we'll bring out Hedorah.
Funny, I was going to ask for Hedorah next.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, you know, Yamazaki seems to like it, so.
Yeah. Afterwards, we can get a Night Combat Shin out there. I know somebody asked
Oh,
for that.
yes. That's right. All right. Here is Hedorah. I have my Hedorah kind of leaning forward right now. Let me see if I can fix that. The Hedorah that they did for this is in the older Showa scale format, so it is a bit smaller. There you go. So that's it standing straight up. It should be taller, but it is a little bit smaller because of that.
I know some people were curious if you could, like, extend the joints a little bit, use, like, custom parts to make them just a little bit bigger.
Yeah, you might be able to. I mean, you can also pose those feet so that they can kind of give it a little bit more of a taller a taller look, like if you pose them so that they're standing on top of each other. He can appear taller, just like that. I think this is a pretty cool figure, though, at the end of the day. A lot of people were questioning how they would do it for MonsterArts, and I think they pulled it off. I think that it looks really cool.
Oh, yeah.
I think just making an articulated figure of that design is really difficult. You know, he's literally a blob monster.
Yes.
So I was like, how do you make an articulated figure of a blob monster?
Yes.
It's not easy.
Let me grab Night Combat here.
Oh, and for the Kyu, it's heavy arms.
Okay. Oh, Night Combat. I just love how this figure is like, this is a good example of a figure that was like a roller coaster with everybody, right? Like everybody was just like, oh, it's so cool. And then it was released and then they were like, maybe not. And then all of a sudden it went to, oh my God, it's the best. Aside from other ones that are like the maquette version, right? But it's the best base form Shin. And yeah, it really is. It really is.
About the original, like everything about the original, they improved upon, especially like the red.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, they did.
Then the choice of clear plastic is just like, oh, chef's kiss.
Yeah, I mean, when we shine a light through the backside of this guy, and I'll do it just for folks that are watching. When you shine light through this guy, like it just lights up.
Same thing for the MGP Shin, like just all the purple glowing.
And let's zoom in actually. Bring it a little bit closer. Yeah, the glow is just so good on this.
It's so pretty.
Let me unlock my tripod here. I can go up now.
The closest thing we can get to the Kokyo Kyoku Shin.
Just love how the chest lights up like that. That's so good.
Which Biollante did you want to see?
All right, we're gonna do two more, guys. Two more. So we got Kiryu and then a Biollante, and then we'll do one more after that.
I can see GMK next to this guy.
Let me zoom back out. There you go.
The night one. You talking about the special color version?
I think he is, because
yeah. So there's only a
Night Combat.
It's just a special color version and regular for Biollante. So, okay, Kiryu, right?
Decisive Battle's coming out next.
Yeah, heavy arms. Kyu, heavy arms, special color Biollante, and Heat Ray GMK.
Okay, let's grab Kiryu out here. So this is the 2003 Heavy Arms Kiryu. There's that for you guys.
Yeah, when you were at SCCC, how much darker was the MGP's version compared to this guy?
It is a lot darker, significantly darker.
That's good.
Gives more of that darker gunmetal weathered look.
Yeah. This one's got that gunmetal look to it, and it may not show up on camera as much. Like if I'm blocking some of the reflection, you can kind of see it, that gunmetal look. But it is a lot darker on the new one, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. It's got like some brighter silver spots, but it's not like 2002, which is really bright.
Pure chrome.
Yeah. Yeah, the heavy arms Kiryu that they did, it's really good. So I'm excited for people to get that one in their collection again.
It's funny because I think there was like a...
This one's got the Terminator eye as well on it.
Oh, the destroyed eye.
Yeah. So, and the mouth closes all the way, which is fantastic.
Does 2002 not do that?
Oh, they both do.
Oh, okay.
I remember reading some comments out there saying, "Oh, it doesn't close its mouth." It does. It closes all the way.
Yeah, I'm like,
So,
why wouldn't it?
but yeah,
It'd be silly for
there's
it not
heavy
to.
arms. And then, what was the other one? It was Biollante, right?
Special color Biollante and Heat Ray GMK. Yeah.
All right, let me grab one of those guys, and then we'll wind things down.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I gotta go to my special color case for those guys. GMK.
And
where
when
am
we're gonna get a display to see a glorious collection.
It needs to be in a different setup for that. Everything is more about function than it is actual
Looks.
fun display. Okay. Try and grab both of these so I don't have to go back and forth.
What do you think Tass is? Do you think he's one of them TikTokers? Come on, man.
Hey, you never know. You could have a nice display with lights and all that stuff.
Yeah, I wish, when I was sick, I was hoping that I would have, like, a little bit of energy to do some stuff, but yeah, it didn't happen. I was just like, I was out. So,
Purely bedridden.
nothing got done. Like at all. All right, so here is the Heat Ray GMK.
Hope to hear some news about the MGP version hopefully soon.
Yeah. My God, the head is so much bigger.
I love it. Love the big portions.
GMK
Probably
could
bite
eat
it off.
Ride Godzilla. Yeah.
Yeah, he can
Oh,
bite
yeah.
his head off.
Ironically, the feet are the
breakfast.
same size. I'm gonna bring these guys a little bit closer. So, yeah. Way bigger head. Yeah, GMK was the Heat Ray version of GMK is a quite an interesting, curious case because it's definitely a charging figure, but this is one of those things that got lost in translation with naming because the description of this doesn't say anything about it being a Heat Ray version. It only says everything about being a glow version, basically a charging variant. Everything in the and that's in the Japanese description. It changed for the US description, and they just call it Heat Ray, basically. So a lot of people got upset with the naming that they did for these guys, because it's like, why do they call it a Heat Ray if it doesn't come with a Heat Ray? So
Did you mention earlier that it was like subtly renamed to like Radiant version or something?
well, that's actually what it's called in Japan, was Radiant Heat Ray version. And in America, or in its just general, it's not just America, but just in its general naming, they just got rid of Radiant for the English spelling. So it's just, they just called it Heat Ray on the box. But even on the website, it still says in Japan's website, on Tamashi's website, it does say Radiant still. And it talks about in their description about it being a glow version. All right, here is the special color version of Biollante with Ride Godzilla.
See, this is the thing that I pointed this out to you with Kaiser coming out.
Oh, Kaiser's much
Man.
bigger than Biollante. Much bigger.
No, I didn't realize how big. I didn't realize how big he was compared to Biollante. I was like, holy cow, it's massive. I don't think I have anything big enough to put him in.
Now, is the scale that Kaiser's at right now going to be the scale that we're going to see upon release, or do they just have the prototype blown up just to like get all the details and stuff worked out first?
I'm not sure. I think that is the scale that they are aiming for, but it is work in progress, that one that's on display over there. So we'll see if it's scaled down or not. I know that recently we were talking to Haya Toys, and because a lot of people were questioning, like, why is that Burning Godzilla so much bigger? And they said, don't worry about it, it's just a test shot. But every company does things differently. So with Tamashi Nations, I think that when they show things off, it could be that. It could, it probably isn't a test shot. It's just probably the current prototype in its current phase. I don't know if it's too big or not, but that's just, we'll have to see when they do a full solicitation.
I'm all down for big figures, but I mean, damn, he's big.
Yeah, he's pretty big. All right, guys. So what we're gonna do? Let me get the goose out over here, and we'll get these guys all lined up. All right, let me get Biolancy out of the way. Biolancy, big girl. Yeah, this little stand, it's yeah, it's not bad. You know, it's not as invasive as it could be, right? With this whole stand piece. Let me get a little bit closer here.
I think it works for the flying form, but it doesn't make any sense for the boat.
Yeah, the boat is I'm gonna put the boat right there actually. Let's get this a little bit more.
I think, like I said, if you get the shin with the tail and the water, just put it in the water and just leave it.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do for this, let's have a little fun with our pose here.
So MBT or MBYT is asking if the spines are articulated. Yes.
Yes.
The 3 spines at the top are still articulated.
Yes. Let's see if I can get this balanced enough.
I'm going to do a roaring pose.
Something like that. I might have to put the tail down.
Dynamic action pose.
If you swing the arms a little forward, maybe.
Let me try. I was doing this over the table, but let me do this so I'm not reaching over the camera while I do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this can definitely pull off that pose, that signature pose in -1.
Kind of post yeah. It's like after he's thrown the building or something like that, and he just roars at everything.
All right, and then we'll go right here.
He's hungry.
See, that might be the way to...
Yeah, you could. I mean, here's a side view of that looking straight kind of thing, but let me just position this just a little bit differently. Oh no, I popped off the tail.
Oh no, that's a terrible figure. It's the worst thing ever.
0 out of 10. Wouldn't recommend.
It's the worst Godzilla of all time.
10 out of 10, guys. 10 out of 10.
That's the internet for you, right? It's bipolar. It's the worst. It's the greatest.
Yeah.
So you can't win.
Ah, it's tearing up my gloves.
Finally. He finally ripped up a glove. It only took him all stream.
Okay, yep. There we go.
It's on articulation stream if the glove doesn't rip.
Yep, that's true. All right, and then let's settle for that. There we go.
I'm gonna have to steal this pose.
Okay, I think I got the pose that I want to do here, so there it is. Let me just lock that so it doesn't stray. And yeah, so Ride Godzilla, there it is, guys. Ride Godzilla posed, and got the goose right there, and the little boat in the mouth right there. That's it. So we made it through the whole stream. Right now we're gonna kind of decompress a little bit, and we'll take fun questions about. You can still ask questions about this figure or other things. Let's see here. It's 11 o'clock right now. All right. So, what final thoughts of this guy right here, guys? I'm going to lead with my final thoughts. I think the Ride Godzilla is a significant improvement compared to -1 in articulation. The articulation is better in the abdominal area. You can see it here in this final pose. You can really crunch that ab now, and he can look straight up, something that the -1 could not do. So it's a win in that situation right there. The Goose figures are a neat little addition. I could live without them personally. And I think out of all of our past silhouettes of the -1 silhouette, including this guy right here, I think this one's the best painted out of all of them. So I think that they've been doing better and better and better with that paint job, and this is definitely quite exciting. So as far as personal preference, I prefer this over -1's silhouette. I like the dorsals on this better. But as far as the cool figure, I still like the -1 reissue. I think that one just, it looks good for the -1 character, even if it is missing parts of the paint. So, but should you get it or not, you know, it's $140 is what it was. Let's see here. What was the price for it? It was for Ride Godzilla in the US. It is $150 right now. If anybody is interested in picking one of these up, I am offering it at a discount at this time. One of these guys will be available after we do the variance photos. So hit me up on any social medias if you are interested in picking that up. But yeah, $150. I think if you pre-ordered it and you got a good pre-order discount, you're gonna be happy with this figure. If not, you could probably wait a little bit and hopefully maybe get a deal. I don't think it's going to be flying off the shelves here in the US by comparison, but if more reviewers out there agree with me in my sentiment on it, word of mouth picks up and people will start scooping it up. So just kind of watch out for what other people are going to be saying about this figure. What do you guys think about this?
Honestly, took the words right out of my mouth. It's significant improvement over -1, like the increased range of movement for the head and the waist, and overall it's like -1 but better.
I think that, yeah, more or less. It is a bit disappointing that -1 wasn't able to get this treatment in time, but it is neat that it does offer the opportunity that maybe later down the line that we could see maybe a -1 2.0 with all of these upgrades and better paint done. So, you know, who knows? We'll just have to see. But right now we got -0 on the horizon, and what's shown here shows that maybe -0 is probably going to have a lot of these upgrades and more, which is exciting. So
yeah, definitely. Okay. Thanks guys for your sentiments on it, and let's turn to the chat for a little bit and answer some questions here. I'm seeing people starting to chime in, so I'm gonna just answer from the most recent one and kind of work backwards. Kaiju Me is saying, do you think Mechagodzilla 75 will be revealed, solicited before Tamashii Nation's Expo in November? Or do you think it'll be one of the big reveals at the event in November? Personally hope it's before. I don't know. We'll have to see if they're gonna do any shadow teases for it. We do know that Godzilla 75 is on the cusp of being released, and if history repeats itself as it is releasing, they may or may not drop a shadow silhouette tease, or they might just show it. I don't know. It just depends on what they've got in store for us. I'm hoping that the sales for Godzilla 1975 were big enough to warrant a Mechagodzilla 75 figure very soon. So let's keep our eyes out when that happens. Godzilla 1975 drops August 29th. That will be the time to keep an eye out on social media. And if it doesn't appear there, then the next place to wait to see anything drop is either going to be Godzilla Day or Tamashii Nation 2026. So we'll have to wait for those events to see if it's going to drop or not.
Has 75 already sold out on Japanese websites?
It is. Usually the way it works for general releases there is that there's a pre-order cap, and then they are able to request more after release. But it just depends if there is any left. So if it's sold out now, they'll probably get an additional inventory on actual release day, and then it'll probably go pretty quick because Showa characters seem to do quite well. Let's see here. Meme Master James is saying, pretty cool. Would love to see G-Breaker in the line. Yeah. If people show up for Ride Godzilla, and as far as I know, the people in Japan, from the tweets that I've been seeing, they seem to really love this figure. So I think that we might be in good business to see a G-Breaker in the future if they keep that up. NBY Trio Oh, and one thing is the reason the torso got an extending joint, but the elbows didn't, due to the boundaries they were given on retooling, or is it because of something else? I am sure that it didn't get done probably because they didn't want the cost to go higher. It already is $10 more than Godzilla Minus One. Godzilla Minus One was $140. This is $10 more because it comes with the G.O.O.S.E effects. And it does change out some of the internals already, and I would say that the bigger internal is more important. So I think given those things, it's mostly about cost, I think. And I don't think you didn't hear too many people complaining about elbow movement. Honestly, I don't remember seeing anybody complaining really about that in my circles, at least. I didn't see anybody in Japan complaining about it either.
I've only seen one, and it was only just because he couldn't hit one particular pose, which was at the end of the movie, but even then, you could still get it close enough.
Yeah, you can get it pretty close with the moving. Like, those biceps have that additional articulation, so you can get them to kind of spread out a little bit more, but I get the not being able to have that full 90 degrees. I think that's just a nature by the design, though. Even if there was an extendable joint in it, I don't know if that would really help as much as you think it would, especially with the spikes on the elbows right there. I think that it would hinder either way. So, and then also Yamazaki has the final say on it, all minus one in Ride Godzilla designs, so I'm sure that there is an intention not to break up the sculpt as much.
There's a question that kind of got buried from later in the conversation, or earlier in the conversation, from Giant Crab. They were asking, do you think MonsterArts would ever do the original monsters that were introduced in Godzilla Battle Line, like the Super Dragon Form Destroyer or Harvest by Alante, or kaijus from Godzilla like King Destroyer or Gatling Gigan?
So it's a tough one to answer because it's multi-layered, right? With Godzilla, I don't see that happening anytime soon if they were to ever cross that boundary. The concept monsters could be a thing, though. Like, they work very closely with, I think, who was it? Nishikawa? Who did that? I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I think it's... Hold on a second. Who did the design for that?
Wasn't it like the original concept?
Yeah, so it's Nishikawa Shinji. I think that's the name. Yes. So Toho and Bandai do work with this individual. So it is quite possible. It is a possibility that those things, those creatures could be realized in 3D form. I know Toho could give them the green light for Bandai to do that. So those are more plausible to be made than Godzilla, though. Godzilla showing up in MonsterArts form, I don't think so. I don't think that would happen. That's kind of its own beat to its own drum right there. So, but definitely those other ones they're concept monsters. So in a way, right? They're though they are in a video game, they're conceptual formats. So. It's a possibility. They've said that they are willing to explore concept stuff like that, and original creations isn't out of the question. I think that as long as people show up for them and they write them in the surveys, I think that could help getting them noticed.
I could see where maybe Gatling Gigan of Godzilla, but none of the other ones I don't think would ever be taken seriously.
Yeah. So we got Casa Alaman saying Titanosaurus, pray. I gotta be real with you guys. When it comes to Titanosaurus, I was talking to them last year at San Diego Comic-Con, and they're just like, but it only appeared in one movie. And this is like when they were changing the people in charge and everything. So the guy I was talking to, he just joined S.H.MonsterArts as the lead. So he was just kind of like confused by the sentiment of like, why would you want the Titanosaurus character, right? And even though he's appeared in one movie and he died in it, right? So there's that sentiment, that's his own personal thing, right? But not looking at the greater picture of what everybody else wants in the line. So Fast forward, now we have Godzilla 1975, potentially Mechagodzilla 1975, and if, say they do Mechagodzilla 75, and both of these figures sell very well, that does open the doors to Titanosaurus. So if you're going to vote for your wallet, vote with your wallet, this is the time to do it. Pick up Godzilla 1975, and if they do Mechagodzilla 1975, pick that one up too. And that will signal them to complete the cast. So that's my best
that just
advice
makes that just makes me sad because Megalon is in the same boat.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, but Megalon, my bug.
Kaiju
Did dinosaurs die in the movie?
I don't think he did, or she did.
I don't feel like it did either.
I think it's debatable. It depends on who you ask.
Is it?
But
is
we're not going to get into that.
King
We're
Kong?
not going to get it. We're not going to get into that right now, though. Kaiju Me says, "Can't wait for the end of the month. Triple drop month feels like an early holiday present. LOL." Then again, December is also triple. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that though. At the same time, like I am, but I'm not, because that's a lot to cover. And this month in particular, it's more than 3 figures because the Shinform set comes with 3. So there's more than that to go through. So I'm going to have a busy September, I'll put it that way. And I can't wait for October because October I get a break.
September is my birth month, so I'll be getting a nice big package.
Yes. Cass Solomon says, "Still waiting for my Gamma 95 reissue and G.O.O.S.E 95 prediction to come true." Yeah, you know what? They had a lottery reissue of Gamma 95 already. And I didn't publish that anywhere because it would just make people really upset. But they already did that in Japan earlier this year. There was a lottery run for Gamma 95. And only people in Japan, Tamashii Nations members, could participate in it, unfortunately. So, but there is an actual reissue on the market. If you order, if you pick up the 95 Gamma on Mandarake, you may actually get the reissue of that. So,
Is there any difference between them, or is it?
I don't know. I haven't picked it up, and I don't really care to pick it up either. So,
He's a Godzilla guy, not a Gamma guy.
At least to find out, don't really care. So there's also a reissue of Burning Godzilla 2019 out there as well. So there's that. That was also a Tamashii Nations Tokyo store exclusive.
How long ago was that?
That was earlier this year. It was the same. It was the same same time that the Gamma 95 figure was out. So.
Huh.
All right.
Oh,
thank you.
At the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, the difference was that one was a lottery exclusive through Premium Bandai, and the other one was a Tokyo, like you'd have to be there physically for like one day only to pick it up. And I don't know if it's an actual real reissue or if it was just back inventory that they just held on to. I'm not really sure.
Just old stock.
Yeah. Okay. Casa Alaman says, although the main point of what that was that Gamma 99 and Iris were released one year, then the next year 96 Legion, but they didn't do the 95 this year. Yeah, you know, this year there's a lot of Godzilla stuff coming out right now. You know, they're putting all their eggs in that basket, and then you got the 50th anniversary, and then you got the 2 movies coming up. So I think it was just inevitable that, I mean, we haven't seen anything beyond, like, we're talking about all the other lines too. Like, if you look at Yu-Gi-Oh! And you look at Monster Hunter, like nothing else has come out this year except for just Godzilla stuff. So they're really focusing on that right now. Let's see here.
That's what happens when you have back-to-back Godzilla movies.
Yep. Daikaiju Dan, greetings and salutations. Greetings to you, sir. Let's see here. Do you think there is a chance we get the Kiji type G-Breaker? Yeah, it's possible. All the ride cast is completely possible, even from the first ride movie, but I think that the G-Breaker is even more of a possibility. Excuse me. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that.
There's that con flu.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's completely possible to get that one for sure. It just depends. We would have seen a tease of it already, but in my opinion, I think that they may be saving G-Breaker for Godzilla Day, because last year at Godzilla Day they did The Ride Godzilla, right? So if they're going to reveal G-Breaker, I think it's going to happen at Tamashii Nation 2026 this year. Just seems to kind of line up. So, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, if like Minus Zero does something that, like another monster or something that overshadows it, maybe, but
yeah, that's the other thing. If there's a second monster or anything like that in Minus Zero, that might also be the spotlight. Or, they might save that for Tamashii Nation. That's the thing, is that they kind of pick and choose, and I feel like Tamashii Nations wants to hold on to the biggest reveals for their showcase, while Godzilla Day gets, a reveal that could be counted as exciting or not, So, like, one year we saw Anguirus on display, the other year, the anniversary releases and stuff. So, I guess we'll just have to see what happens. Oh, this guy, he's a funny guy. He's gonna go vote for his wallet. Roberto Shaves 6126 is asking, why did MonsterArts 2014 movie graphic plus get delayed? I'm not sure. We'll have to find out when it finally comes out. I would like to think that it got delayed because they replaced the movie poster with the PET material. That would be really cool.
Ooh.
Interesting.
There was a Japanese retailer that kind of messaged somebody on... It was a Japanese eBay seller, but they owned a retail store in Japan, and they were saying that the manufacturer recalled it because there was something wrong with the print on the box. There was some information missing, and they had to correct that. So unfortunately, I won't have the ones that were released in Mexico. I don't have anything to compare with that. So if we have any of our friends that are in Mexico that are watching these streams, and you happen to pick up that original Godzilla 2014, I would appreciate it if you could send pictures of that box from all the different sides my way, so that we can use that to compare to see what was actually changed and updated, if that was what was changed and updated. But if we open up the box and we see that the poster board has been updated from cardstock to the PET board, then I think that's safe to say that's something they changed. If you're hoping that they changed something on the figure itself, that's not the case. The figure is not getting updated by any means, so it's the same as before. Drops August 29th. Yes, it does.
I think that might be it, unless anybody's got any last minute.
I see Castleman saying, "Oh, right." So, but yeah, that's
Are you also seeing the weird translate symbol at the same time?
Sometimes it shows up there if YouTube doesn't know with the translate symbol. So sometimes you just have to hover your mouse over it. At least on my end, I can hover the mouse over it and it shows me what's actually being said, but it just says "oh." I know if you write in Kaiser, it doesn't like Kaiser, so sometimes it'll write surrender instead.
Well, what was it? I think it's Emperor. It replaces it as Emperor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something like that.
Weird.
Kaijimi is saying, with 2014, do you think they have slightly updated shoulders like 20? No, they're not doing any sculpt changes with it, so it's going to be the exact same figure as before, just new paint job. No changes. Let's see here. Kessler says, can't wait for my MonsterArts Hedera -0. Just kidding. We all know it's Gravity Anguirus. Oh boy.
It's
I'm telling you guys, that those electrical effects, that's going to be a Godzilla -0 ability right there. It's going to be, everybody's thinking it's a different monster, but it's going to be, that's going to be his thing. It's going to have some kind of gravity thing going on right there.
There's two Godzillas. They've never done it before.
Stop it.
Stop
it. Stop it.
Two Godzillas.
Stop it.
Gravity Godzilla. It's Gravity Godzilla.
Stop it.
That's Godzilla with wings.
What do you think Tamashii will most likely reveal at Tamashii Nations 2026? Repaint new molds. I mean, last year they went big. For the first time in a long time, they went big last year with a lot of different reveals, right? Some of them were mixed between old and new stuff, and then, hopefully we'll... I mean, here's the thing. It's going to be the 15th anniversary for S.H.MonsterArts, so I am expecting a big to-do. I'm expecting a big to-do, and I think there's going to be I know of a really cool announcement that they're going to do, and I can't wait for people to see that. But I'm also curious to see what people will do with that information too. So, but that's a wait and see thing. I don't know if they're going to reveal that at Tamashii Nation 2026, but I do know that it will happen in 2027, and it'll be fun. I think people will have some fun with it. So
exciting.
And then, yeah.
You still have your retirement planned out when the 2.0 1994
if they don't,
doesn't happen?
Yep, that's right. If they don't do the 1994 figure, if they don't do a 2.0 of 1994, I quit. I'm done. I'm not even going to do MonsterArts anymore. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to give my whole collection to Josh, and I'm going to give the other part of it to Rusty right here, and I'm just going to walk away into the sunset.
Oh, that's a heavy burden. I don't have that many shelves, man.
I'll take care of it greatly.
Yeah, take care of it, because I'm just like, it has to happen. 15th anniversary. If it doesn't happen, I quit.
It's fun while it lasting.
I need a 1994 2.0 in my collection. The first one's great. It's good because it's like the first that started it all, but man, with all the stuff that they do, it has the potential to be the best Heisei figure in the line. 1991 is proof that they can do the articulation better. So let's do it again.
So you're just gonna start collecting the NECA Godzilla figures afterwards.
Oh, and then let's not forget about this. Let's not forget about this information. We have seen at the Figure Expo that there is a box that is still covered over there, and a little spy over there happened to stick his camera just close enough to see the reflection that says Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla from 1993. So there's a pretty good chance that we might be seeing Godzilla 1993 revealed before the Figure Expo is officially done and over with. So, which ends in October, by the way. So
we just don't know if it's MonsterArts related or not. It could be Chogokin or something.
I mean, wasn't it next to one of the MonsterArts?
It's possible. Yeah, that is true.
It's true.
It could be another thing, but it probably is S.H.MonsterArts since it is in the S.H.MonsterArts wall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's in the wall. So I believe the figures that are there, it's the Godzilla and Biollante display, and then it's Godzilla 1975 all by himself, and then on the right side of him, it's just a box that's covered up saying coming soon. So. And that box that's covered up, that's the one that has the, that somebody took their camera and it says Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla and the reflection of it, so. But boy, wouldn't they be punking us all if they photoshopped that on there, huh?
You mean like bad. the Haya
the logo was photoshopped.
Yeah, the Haya -1 that got passed around by people, and then it was like, dude, no.
It ain't real. Don't get your
it ain't real. Sorry, guys. There is no Haya -1.
Brown Rodan, yeah. That would be pretty cool.
See if that.
It's a recolor
did that,
Godzilla.
I need to finish a Brown Rodan. There's a certain commission I've got on my table.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's been a while.
I completely forgot about that. Okay. Anyways, let's see here. Should we get another reveal this month, right? What's this? Today is, we're in August right now?
The 10th.
Let me look at my release schedule here. Do we get any other reveals? Might be another skip month. It may be another skip month.
October's empty. I don't think there's anything coming
as far
then,
as,
right?
Yeah, we're done for 2026. There's no more releases, so everything else from here on out is going to be 2027 releases. So
Unless it's
we
gravity
still
and
don't
gears. No.
we still don't know what's going on. So I know things have happened behind the scenes. But I don't know what's going on with Movie Graphic Plus 2002 and 2001. So you know, we don't know what's going on with those. Those were supposed to come out sooner than later, but then surprise, we're getting Godzilla 2003 and Kiryu 2003. So those have taken those guys' spots, and I don't know what's going to happen with those figures right now. They might be postponed for a different time now that 2003 Godzilla has the spotlight. So Movie Graphic Plus 2001 Godzilla can still come out relatively soon. So I'm not really sure. We'll have to see what it's gonna look like.
That does make me think with 2003, and after us looking at Ride Goji here, of like the soft upgrades that they could do. You know, I think I brought that up earlier, but like, I think they could make that figure a little nicer. And so here's to hoping. It's like,
yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, because there has been an opportunity to update the actual sculpt, so they could easily go in there and add, you know, the torso articulation. I think is the easiest thing to switch out, because it is just a joint after all. Like, they could keep the same socket and everything and just switch out the joint, so it's got that extendable joint now, right? So that's an easy thing that they could easily sneak in there. The head has already been designed for 2002 Godzilla to be able to rear its head quite a bit, so I don't see them doing any updated changes in that department right there. And I don't see them, unfortunately, I don't see them updating things like the arms, which the left arm needed a serious like upgrade over time. It got better with every release of the 2002 Godzilla, and so it might even be better for 2003. We'll see what happens, but
well, it's a new chess piece, so maybe
it is a new torso externally speaking, right? But on the inside, it could still have the same internals. So we'll have to see what happens.
We shall see.
Yeah. 2003 Godzilla. For anybody that doesn't know, 2003 Godzilla has a brand new torso. It's a brand new torso, and then they also updated the dorsals along parts of the tail. But other than that, it's pretty much reusing the same parts as the 2002 Godzilla. So there was a lot of people asking, did they change the head? Did they update the head? It's the same head. It's just that the difference is that in the promo photos, it's a resin sculpt of the whole entire thing versus a factory promo. So that's why it looks sharper in detail. Kaijumi says he thinks that they're using the 93 font to hide 1975 Mechagodzilla. Well, here's the thing. If they're going to bring out 1975 Godzilla, they would just add it to the 75 Godzilla box.
Display.
They wouldn't have it in a separate display, but I get what you're doing. You're a silly guy. I see your emoji at the end of that. Let's see here. I just hope it is Brown Rodan. It would be a good time to finally release it, and it would be cool if he came with changeable feet to carry the container that held Little Godzilla. And a minifigure for Little Godzilla, or is he called Baby? It's called Baby Godzilla, yeah, in the movie, because Little Godzilla's in Space Godzilla. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think they would make a big deal about, honestly speaking, I don't think they would make a big deal for Brown Rodan and Baby Godzilla. I don't think they would make a big deal about that. I think that it'd be pretty cool if you got a Godzilla 1993 with a Baby Godzilla, but I think it's just too soon to see the Heisei Rodan again. But you never know. You never know. They did do the 70th anniversary Godzilla, and then the next year they did Movie Graphic Plus 1954 Godzilla. So you never know. But just my gut feeling inside says that they're not gonna bring Brown Rodan for that display. I'm hedging all my bets on 1993 Godzilla on that one.
Yeah, I'm hoping Brown Rodan doesn't happen, so that the custom I'm working on does not. Be like, that's very, very egotistical. I know,
yeah.
But
to clarify, it is called Baby Godzilla in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 1993. It is called Baby Godzilla. In Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, he gets upgraded to Little Godzilla, and then in the next one, Godzilla Jr.
And I don't think the container accessory would work, because Rodan doesn't grab it until after he's already transformed into Fire Rodan.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So, but we do have the Brown Rodan prototype that's in Proto Limbo, so who knows when that will ever resurface again. But maybe in a couple years, right? When they decide to go for round number 4 for Heisei figures.
2035, and I'll be there.
What I would want instead is they do a poster color version, so you can finally finish the poster for Mechagodzilla, the concept, and 1993 Godzilla. So just give us like a bright orange, fiery Rodan to match the poster.
Something like that, yeah. So
yeah,
but yeah, wow. 94 Godzilla or you retire. See, everybody knows. I've been saying it. I'm done. I'm quitting.
Yep.
That's it.
We'll get half the collection. I get the other half. Someone gets a channel. That's history.
There you go. Everybody's just gonna. The community will inherit what I have started, and I will just relax.
Yes, Kaiju Connect will take over the channel, maybe with Robin.
I'm gonna go party. I'm gonna this is an inside joke. I'm gonna go party on a yacht.
Yeah, with all your Tamashi money.
Yeah. Given the news of tariff refunds rolling out, what was your question? Did I miss it? Given the news of the tariff refunds roll out, and then there's nothing there. I think you hit the enter button a little too soon, bud.
His question is later down the line.
Yeah, something like that. Little Godzilla needs decisive battle. Way too expensive right now. Yeah, they did a special color version of it, so it'd be really great if they did decisive battle and bring that back to the market. Hey, be a good opportunity. 1994 2.0 with a new Little Godzilla. Bring it on. 2-pack. Kaiju says...
when he's...
yeah, go for it. What'd you say?
Yeah, Little Godzilla's paint scheme could be after Space Godzilla's, stepped on him, he's rolled around in the dirt.
Oh, yeah. Kaijumi, oh, you're talking to Kaijumi. Yes, for sure. Or if he's packaged with a, yep, and we just said it. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay, let's see here. What time is it? It is 11:41 our time. I'm not a Bandai branded yacht. Oh, that's funny.
I saw that comment.
That is hilarious.
Name the yacht, not Bandai.
Where are you going? This guy, he just thinks that he could just walk out. Cat interference,
Ooh,
indeed.
Is it Zuko?
No, it's a cat that's trying to be naughty right now. It's not supposed to be out here. Anyways.
Catzilla.
All right, guys. I think that's it for us today. This was a lot of fun. We had a good time and everything. So, yeah. Thanks, guys, for joining on the stream today. You guys were amazing. And to the 21 people that are still here, you guys are amazing for sticking it out. Or if you just got here, I mean, that's cool too. But like, if you've been here since the beginning of the whole stream, you've just been listening while we've been chatting and talking and stuff and looking at the figures. Glad that you guys stuck around and everything. And thank you, Josh, and thank you, Russell, for coming out and co-hosting with me. I actually made it through most of the stream without coughing, all the way until the very end, actually. That's when I had a little act up right there. But other than that, again, thanks guys so much for joining me tonight.
You sound a lot better than on Harold's stream a couple weeks ago. So.
That's for sure. I didn't even sound like myself. I sounded like a whole different person.
Yeah.
Not like you were dying.
I was dying. I was in bed when that was happening. I was on the phone. I didn't use any of my equipment for that. I was just like, And then it was funny because I was telling Harold in that stream, I was like, keep me backstage so that way I can just hear what you guys are saying. And he kept bringing me back on the front stage, and I kept putting myself backstage, and it kept going like that, back and forth, back and forth. I was just like, fine, whatever. I just guess I'm going to be on the stage after all.
It's like, fine, I guess I'll be here.
You're like Weekends with Bernie. You're like Weekend with Bernie. We just have your dead body just
yeah, exactly. So, but awesome. All right, so the next things that are on the docket right here, I've got some photos to do with this guy right here. I'm actually behind on publishing variance photos because of Comic-Con and my sickness and everything. So I still got to post Heat Ray version of Godzilla 2004, and then I got to post the Destroy Evolution set, and I'm going to grab some photos of these guys first, the Ride Godzillas, because I got to get these guys out to some fabulous people that have been waiting a while to get these guys. So I'm going to send these guys as soon as I can together. And then We have, at the end of the month, we have 3 figures that are being released, which means I probably won't be getting them until the first week of September. So, and then we're probably going to have to space those guys out a little bit because I can't just do 3 streams in a row like that. So we're going to have to space those guys out a little bit for that going into October. So, but other than that, that is it on my end over here, guys. Again, thank you for joining us, everybody who's stuck around all the way until the very end of the stream. And we'll be catching you on the next one. Thanks so much, everybody, and have a good night. We'll catch you on the flippity flop.
Thanks, guys. Have fun.
See you guys later.